race this season, so therefore Ryan Doran will be taking his place. Dylan Platt taking a seat in the Toro Rosso, if I'm correct. Sorry, that is Red Bull. With him we have Calum White, former Mercedes driver. Also two very quick drivers. To be honest, I do have to say that I'm predicting one of those two might be able to win the championship this year. For Williams, we have Cameron Widdowson and Josh Diggles. Josh Diggles will be racing this night, only not making it into qualifying. And for Ferrari, we have Phil Harris and Leah Pratt.
Okay, so there we have it. Apologies for those of you that are watching live. You just missed the intro. You didn't miss much. Don't worry about it. For those of you that missed the intro and are watching the stream back over, you haven't missed anything and you've caught us out because, well, you're watching what we recorded. So there you go. Anyway, that's the way it is. Right, we are now in Q1. 11 minutes and 30 seconds remaining of this queue. And as we can see, already Thomas Cook in the Ferrari has set an opening lap. Sorry, how have I got him in the Ferrari? Thomas Cook, sorry, not in the Ferrari. What am I saying? Thomas Cook is actually in the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, I was about to say I was looking at the wrong colour there. So Thomas Cook in the Alfa Romeo has set, what is that, a 121.4?
121.4.
Tony Foster in the McLaren, a 121.7. Jamie Good in the Toro Rosso, 122.3. Sean Street in the sister McLaren to Tony, 122.6. Jack Wilson set a 123.0 for Haas. Phil Harris in the Ferrari is out on track at the moment. He's set a 124.625. Lee Pratt, his teammate, 124.835. Adrian Rich in the Renault, out on track at the moment. He's on his out lap. Ryan Leah looks like he's on a qualifying lap. Dylan Platt in the Red Bull on qualifying lap. Jake Sorrell, Cameron Widdowson in the Rocket Williams. Ryan Doran in the pits for Haas. Chris Knight is just going round the back there. Looks like down into turn 6. Oh, sorry, no, that was actually turn 3, 4, now coming round 5. And then we got Matt Goodyear in the Mercedes. And last but by no means least, we have the Red Bull there of Calum White, who was in Mercedes last year. So let's see where we are with this. So opening session, Q1, we've got 17 drivers. From the 17, we will go down to 15, so we'll be dropping the 2 slowest drivers at this moment in time. Let's just have a quick look actually at what these guys are on. Now, a bit of a mixed bag here. Unsurprisingly, Dylan Platt has gone out on the hards. He always does. That's Dylan's sort of opening gamut, always on the hards. But we've also got Chris Knight.
Break in, we have Cameron Widdowson crashing out.
Oh my goodness,
right after
just spun.
the second DRS zone.
Yeah, that was out of 12 by the looks of it.
He already lost his front wing on the left side.
Yeah, he's lost the front end plates on the left-hand side there, so that was Cameron Widdowson in the Rocket Williams. And he's sustained some severe injury there to his front left, but just come into the pits and get changed for that. Okay, so as I said, bit of a mixed bag here. Dylan always comes out on the hards, but we've also got Lee Pratt, Phil Harris, and Adrian Rich and Chris Knight have gone out on the hards. Now, Nicky, what am I saying? I'm so used to Nicky. Jonah, obviously the hard tyres is very much an option here at Albert Park, isn't it?
Yeah, especially in Q1 where we're at now, we'll only be dropping the slowest 2 drivers, so they actually only have to beat the 2 slowest times, and especially in the hard tires and the faster drivers can manage this. So this will be an this is really an opportunity to go out on these tires and save out an extra set of soft tires for the race, or an extra one on the qualify Q2.
we are on board at this moment in time with Phil Harris, who was with Williams for season 1. Very, very competent driver, it has to be said. Phil Harris, his debut race, he did debut in Australia last year. Best, well, he's second. He came second in season 1 with 269 points, so was the runner-up. 1 pole, 1 win, 12 podiums, 269 points, 5 DNFs, never finished lower than 5th. Holds the record for the longest podium streak, 8 in a row. And as I said, his season 1 final position was in P2 at the end of the season. Adrian's very kindly done some predictions. I daren't read through them all, but he's actually put Phil to qualify second, and interestingly, to qualify third and to finish second. So he's got Phil down for qualifying in P3 and finishing P2. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, but I do think that it's a good one. I do think he can make that. To be honest, I think Dylan and Phil will be 2 drivers that will fight this year, and especially I think it is a reasonable one. Yeah,
I suppose is every opportunity. He hasn't made the time yet, as you can see there. Red track means that his time effectively will be null and void, so he's going to have to go around for the next lap to actually have a go at that. Let's have a look at someone else there. Let's actually go with our last season winner, Dylan Platt. He's on track at the moment, just coming around 4 into turn 5 in sector 1. And Dylan, he had an absolutely blinding season last year, and he was up against some really tough competition as well, wasn't he? With the likes of Mercedes, but managed to get his way through, and he really did have some fantastic results. 100% attendance, attended all 21 races, finished first with 398 points. Remember, second was Phil Harris on 269, 10 poles, 10 wins, 18 podiums, 3 DNFs. Has only ever qualified outside the top, has only qualified outside top 3, for Australia and Spain, so not one of his best tracks. And Adrian's predicted that he should qualify first and finish first, so he's putting him in that top position, and that's quite interesting. Well, I say quite interesting, obviously he did win season 1. He's certainly a competent driver, but I think that's a pretty safe prediction, really.
Yeah, to be honest, just see how he did last season. It's just amazing. All those stats, what are coming up, those are just stats of a champion, to be honest. There's nothing more to say about that.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's got it all to play for this season. But as you say, Phil Harris is going to be very, very close in on his tail. Now, this is the interesting one here. Ross Milburn has set the provisional fastest time, and he's done a great one there, 1:21.418. Great run from him. Ross Milburn, again, obviously very competent driver, has to be said. So expecting good things from him. He's go through his stats in a little bit. Thomas Cook has qualified second with 1:24.4. Calum White third with a 1:21.6. Matt Goodyear coming into the pits now. Dylan Platt still out on track. He's in 4th with a 1:21.6. Interesting, because he's on the hard compound tyres, and those guys around him on the softs only, a couple of tenths faster. And Dylan is just the master of these hard compound tyres. He does it every race. Always goes out on the hard compounds tyres, and if he can, tries to start the race, and that seems to be always his preferred strategy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's also about the feeling you have within these tires. It's a kind of confidence you need. The feeling you have, it's just amazing how he does that, and especially the times he's putting in on the board now, 1:21.6. Yeah, it's only 2 tenths slower than the guys running on 2 compound softer tires. It's just amazing.
Exactly. Tony Foster set a 1:21.7. Jake Sorrell, 122.1. Ryan Lear, 122.3. Jamie Good, 122.3. All those guys on soft compound tyres. Sean Street in the McLaren set a 122.6 on the medium. Jack Wilson has set a 123.0 on the soft. That's in the Haas. Then we have Chris Knight and Lee Pratt. They are... Where are we? Sorry, sorry, I got this right. Chris Knight. Can't see the colours here. This looks almost exactly the same.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, it's really bad. I don't know why. Chris Knight in the Alfa Romeo has set a 123.1. Lee Pratt and Phil Harris, the two Ferraris, sitting 13 and 14, 123.6 and 123.9. I've got to say, a bit surprised by that. Although Phil Harris did go out the hard compound tyres. Not really his bag, but we can see what happened. Cameron Widdowson is currently in P15 with a 125. Oh, straight in the wall there for the Williams out of 12. As we went on board with him, Cameron Widdowson wipes himself out and sets a 125.2. He could potentially still go through in that P15, but it all depends on Ryan Durham. And Ryan out on track at the moment in his Haas. And let's see what he can do. 125.4, 2/10 is what he's looking to try and beat. Oh, goes up against the wall as he's coming out of 16, and that's what you've got to watch as well. That exit out of 15 into 16 and then out of there puts him up into P11 and does push Cameron Widdowson down into P16. Adrian Rich in the Renault, he's currently in P17, a 139.7. I don't think Adrian's having a good day out there in this Q1 session.
Yeah, his time was set on the harder tyre. He went out now on the soft tyre, but this potentially could mean that the this qualifier could be the last for Phil Harris, because yeah, if Adrian gets the time he has, that could drop Phil Harris out.
Well, that will certainly be interesting. Although we've seen Phil come from the back of the pack before, he has done it, and he's certainly capable of doing it.
Yeah, you can see Phil Harris is pushing his car because he just went wide in the third corner.
Well, just on board with Adrian Rich at the moment. He's just coming round turn 8. Winding up round 10, sorry, now. Into 11, 12. Watch your exit out there. Coming up now to turn 13. What's his time? It's not looking too shabby at the moment. Remember, he wants to try and beat that 123.8 from Phil Harris to push him out. And I've got to say, it's looking potentially like he could do it. It's round the final corner now. Can he do it? 123.8. Oh, 122.3. He does. Pushes Phil Harris into the drop zone. Phil Harris now coming round the first sector, getting ready to come into sector 2 now. He is in sector 2.
Already 4 seconds up on his time.
Coming down. Round turn 9 now. Winding up round 10. But this lap is invalidated, isn't it? Looks
no,
like
it's
red.
not invalidated.
Well, it's showing as red on the map.
Yeah, he is 4 seconds up on his previous best.
I've got to say.
He's now running no ERS.
Unless that was his previous lap. Let's have a look. Round the final set of corners in sector 3 now. Round 13, 15, into 16.
No, he's coming
into
in.
the pits. Yeah, I didn't think so. He was on red, so he hadn't actually set a time. So Phil Harris will be starting in row 8, P16, and in row 9, P17, will be Cameron Widdowson. So, not quite, I think, what we were expecting there.
No, definitely not now.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got Williams in P17, Cameron Widdowson. P16 will be Phil Harris. And we'll run through the guys as they're coming round now. Yep, and we'll have the board up, so we'll run through our top 15. So already in this opening race for Season 2 here at Albert Park, we have a bit of a choker. So Ross Milburn setting the fastest time with 1:21.418. And then we have Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo, Calum White for Red Bull, Matt Goodyear for Mercedes, Dylan Platt for Red Bull, Tony Foster for McLaren, Lee Pratt for Ferrari, Jake Sorrell for Racing Point, Ryan Lear for Haas, Jamie Good for Toro Rosso, Adrian Rich for Renault, Sean Street for McLaren, Ryan Doran for Haas, Jack Wilson for Renault, and Chris Knight for Alfa Romeo. And as I said, Phil Harris will be starting row 8 in P16 with the Ferrari, and a row behind him will be Cameron Widdowson in that Rocket Williams, starting all on his lonesome in row 9. So definitely a surprise there, and not quite what we was expected. I've got to say, that did wrong foot us somewhat there. We are now into the second Q session. And in this Q session, we have the 15 drivers. And from those 15, we will go down to 10. So the 10 fastest drivers will go through. Those 10 fastest drivers will have to start the race on the tyre with which they set their qualifying lap in this Q2 session. So everybody that finishes in the top 10 will be starting the race on the tyres that gave them the lap to get into that top 10. So very interesting indeed. Let's have a look who's out on track at the moment. Dylan Platt is there behind Thomas
interesting
Cook.
for you now is that in season 1, in Q2, P10 was set by Matt Goodyear, 1:23.021. That was a cut-off time for Q1.
Okay.
It will be interesting to see if the times are getting faster this year.
Well, we see 1:21.4 already in that Q1 session. We are on board with Chris Knight, but he is following in close behind Dylan Platt. Actually stay on the onboard for him there. In fact, I think I'll go with Dylan. He'll be the first man to start his fast lap. Dylan Platt still opting for those hard compound tyres, to say very much his not his party piece, it's his trademark. It's his trademark, isn't it?
You can call it more of a trademark.
Yeah. So he'll be starting.
I also just received the weather conditions for the race, which will be entirely dry, except for the last few moments of the race. There could be potentially some heavy rain.
Okay, so dry race is what we're predicted. However, we may have some heavy rain on the closing stages of the race, and if we get it starting round about lap sort of 50, 52, that's going to be very interesting indeed.
Yeah, that could be fun.
It could be, definitely could be fun. So Dylan Platt out on track at the moment, coming round sector 1 into turn 4, coming around 5. Let's see what his sector 1 time is. And it's a purple, 28.3. Now into that second sector. Coming down to turn 9. Nicely done. Right up close round 10, and then dive into the curve as you're coming round on the left-hand side and then wide out again. Watch him now through 11-12. Stay on board. Little flip there, rumble strip, the unknown corner. Now into sector 3. Oh, letting the Alfa Romeo pass there. Oh, letting a few drives pass, so he's not happy with that. He's abandoned that lap, even though he set the fast time, probably because he had those guys close in behind him. We'll see now some of the times come up, and we should see Thomas Cook hasn't set a lap as yet. Chris Knight into the pits, that's his teammate. And Tony Foster is the first man to set a lap. So Tony Foster. 1:22.07. Very good lap from Tony Foster. Matt Goodyear, 1:22. Oh, sorry, Matt Goodyear was a 1:22.7, but in the meantime, Jack Wilson, 1:21.8, puts him into provisional P1. Oh dear, and that's Tony Foster going off the track there. That was, looks like that was out of 3. So yes, it was. Oh dear, those tyres are going to be pretty sore. And somebody else there behind him as well. I think that's who is that? That's the Renault.
Yeah, I was looking just when
the
this
Renault
happened, but
no, it wasn't the Renault. Yeah, it was Renault Jack Wilson. But that was the Renault Jack Wilson going a little bit wrong-footed there. Tony Foster, as I said, 122.0. Matt Goodyear 122.7. Ryan Doran sits at 123.3 in that pass. Just coming up around turn 9. Jake Sorrell sits the fastest now with a 121.7 in the racing points. Lee Pratt out on track at this moment in time. He's set at 123.6. Ryan Lear 125.0. Dylan only a 129.3, but as I said, he did abandon that lap. Not on a fast lap now again, because he has actually invalidated this lap, so he'll be going for it on this next one. Adrian Rich is on his out lap. Ross Milburn hasn't set a time as yet. He's currently coming to the end of Sector 2, just about to come into Sector 3. Not going to be particularly fast, I suspect. Let's see how he does. Round 13 into 14. Let's see. It's probably going to be around about a 125, I suspect, from Ross Milburn. Oh no, it's quicker. He's done a good job here. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, not quite. 122.4. So that puts him into provisional P5. Matt Goodyear in the pits. Ryan Doran in the pits. And Lee Pratt is out on track at this moment in time, currently sitting in 9. Ryan Lear is in the pits. These are the guys in the drop zone. Dylan Platt will stay on board with him. Coming round Sector 2, he's 2.2 seconds down, but as I say, he wasn't a particularly fast time before anyway. Let's see what he can do.
Jamie Good just made the top 10 with a 124.1, pushing out Ryan Lear.
Still early days though in this qualifying session though, Jonah, isn't it? I mean, I'm looking at it, a lot of action going on in this queue, but we've still got nearly 8.5 minutes remaining, and in fact Dylan coming into the pits.
Yeah, what you can see now here is that the drivers already know of the weather conditions that will be playing part of this race, of course. So a lot of drivers are trying to get set their time on a harder lap, on a harder tires. But yeah, some drivers are just going on the softer tire, which just what's mixing up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously what these guys are looking to do is go as deep as they can on those hard compound tyres. Now, the hard compound tyre should go to around about 40 laps or thereabouts, shouldn't it?
When I did my practice, I managed to did 37 laps on the hardest tyre.
Right, yeah. So let's say 35 to 40 laps on the hard compound tyre. So these guys could start on the hard and go on to the medium, which would probably suit them in the damper conditions. Medium would be a better tyre to go for, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there won't be a big difference between the soft or the medium compound, but yeah, but when you're already on used tires, you probably go best on the medium tires when the rain is coming down, starting to come down.
And then the question is, how long will it last? Because they might well have to pit and then go on to either intermediates, or if it's that bad, even a set of wets.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting.
To be honest, I hope to see the full wets out.
Yeah, it certainly will make it interesting. So at this moment in time in the drop zone, we have Jamie Good, Ryan Lear, Dylan Platt, Adrian Rich and Chris Knight. We are on board now with Jamie Good in the Toro Rosso. Just coming into Sector 2. Let's see how he does. Now these guys really, I mean, where do you think the drop zone's going to be? I mean, we've got 122s from sort of like around about 8. Do you think the drop's going to be sort of high 122, low 123?
Yeah, as I said when this session started, in season 1, the 123.0 was the drop-off zone for Q1. So looking now at Leah Pratt is setting a 123.6. I think the drop-off will be around 122.
Yeah, Jamie Good just gets in. He sets a 123.2. So yeah, I think the drop zone is going to certainly be that low. I think this is going to come lower, and I would say that we're probably going to see Matt Goodyear actually in P10 if he doesn't better that time. So
yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's going to be round about there, isn't it? So a lot to play for still. Thomas Cook, Jack Wilson, Calum White, Jake Sorrell and Sean Street all chilling out in the pits. No real reason for them to come out, and I doubt they will come out now for the rest of this session. They are all on the tyres, I think, which they set their laps with. Interestingly, Calum White is on the medium, so if he stays with that, he will be starting on the mediums. And indeed, Sean Street, Jake Sorrell, Jack Wilson will be starting on their softs. Thomas Cook, I'm not too sure what he set his fast lap on. He's on softs at the moment. Could have been mediums, but I suspect it was probably softs. I don't know.
He did his time on a medium compound.
I was a medium, okay.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't go back out, he'll be starting on a medium as well. Tony Foster as well. I'm pretty sure he was on the... Actually, I think he was on the medium as well.
No, he did his time on a soft tyre.
Oh, he did it on the soft, okay. Then we have Ross Milburn, 122.4. Matt Goodyear, 122.7. Ryan Lear's now 123.2. Jamie Good, 123.2. He's coming into the pits. Ryan Doran out on track at the moment, 123.3. So close, Ryan, in that Haas. And he looks like he's going to break it now. I think this is going to be a 121, 122. Oh, 122.2. Nice. Puts him into P7, row 4. Provisionally at this moment in time. And obviously Q3 will give us the final results. But he's on the soft compound tyre.
What might be interesting is that Chris Knight is going out still on the hardest tyre. He didn't put out a lap just yet, but...
Yeah, Chris Knight indeed on the hard compound tyre. I think it's a big ask. Even Dylan's gone on to the medium, so Dylan's dialed it up a little bit, going on to the medium. But we'll stay with Chris just to see how he does.
And Dylan just went fastest with 121.1.
Wow, look at that. Sorry, just quickly jumped to Dylan there. Purple all round, as you can see. 121.1, and that was on the medium compound tyre. Remember, Sean Street in second, 121.3 was on the soft compound tyre. So, yeah, Dylan really laying it down there, that's for sure. Chris Knight coming round the third and final sector, round the penultimate turn, round that final turn now, onto that start-finish straight. This is going to look a good time. I think he's going to be able to do it, you know. 122.5.
122.5.
Fantastic. Puts him right smack bang there. And we were somewhat out because we were saying 122.7, but now that benchmark is 122.5. 122.7, which was Matt Goodyear, has now gone up to P11.
Yeah, he's still out on track.
He is.
Is he going to set a new time now? Oh, I think that was a cooling down lap.
Yep, this is his lap now. We'll stay with him around this first sector. Only just under 2.5 minutes remaining now of this. Oh, and he's gone off! He lost it out of 3, coming down into 4, taken out that front left, and he was lucky he didn't take out the wheel there, wasn't he, Jonah?
He's definitely lucky there to just get on with it.
So that was very, very fortunate, but he's not going to be able to go back out there now and set another lap. He's got to come in, get a new nose, get round, and he's got less than 2 minutes to do it. I don't think it can be done. I think that's Matt Goodyear will be starting at least, or at the highest, in P11 in that row 6.
Yeah, definitely. This is just the end of his qualification. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Adrian Rich in the Renault, currently out on track. He's on the medium. He's in the third sector. This is not going to be a fast lap here.
No, he's running no ERS.
So let's see if he's going to wind up now for a find one. So let's go on board with him. And actually, let's go on board, get an idea of the track. We haven't done an on board and track. So hard hard right into turn one. Watch the entry there. Round two, go wide onto the rumble strip. Round two, coming down now, hard and fast towards turn three. It's a hard right, brake, 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 brake. Hit that apex on the right-hand side there. Right over to the right, cut in left. Round four, and then you start to wind it up. Round five, cut that apex, go wide left, really bring it in tight, bring the power up. Down, hard braking, right into six, left into seven. Start to open her up now as you open it up. Round eight, winding up round that right-hand turn. Coming down to nine now, hard, right. Watch the exit, go left, round into 10. Stay on that right-hand side. Go towards the apex as you're coming around that long left-hander of 10. Wide out again to the right. Coming down now, 11, left, dog leg, right, left. Watch that rumble strip, don't go too far, you'll spin out. Cut into that no corner there, down into 13. Brake, 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 hard right, hit the apex, go off left. Watch the exit, oh, little bit of spin there, round 14 now. Coming down, watch your speed as you come round this penultimate turn of 15. Got to be careful there. Round 16, watch your exit. Nicely done. And this is a good lap here from Adrian Rich. What can he do? He's the 122.3. Oh,
just out.
He just misses out there. 122.3 because Ryan Doran in the meantime had set a 122.2.
In the meantime, Jamie Good is putting in a good lap, already 8/10 up on his fastest lap.
So Jamie Good now in the third and final sector. Coming round 15 into 16 now. It's looking good. This is going to be a fast lap. This is looking very good indeed. 122.0.
122.0.
Nicely done, and pushes Ryan Doran now into the drop zone. Even with that 122.2, I mean, this went right down. This is right down in the low 122s for this. 122.1 was the drop.
Yeah. Season 1 was 123.0, so we're almost a second faster than the previous 123.0.
123.0. Oh, sorry, 1 second. I do apologise. You're correct. Right. 122.1. Yeah, just over 1 second. That's amazing. That is really amazing. Just goes to show how comfortable these drivers have got. I mean, a second may not seem a lot, but on this track, that is a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, that is definitely a lot. Obviously, in Formula 1, a tenth is a lot. So let's talk about 1 second.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So fantastic Q2 session there. Really was all the way. But Dylan Platt setting that fastest lap with a 121.1 on the medium tyre. He'll be starting on that. Sean Street in McLaren, 121.3. Then we have his teammate, 121.5, Tony Foster. Jake Sorrell for Calum White through, Jack Wilson, Jamie Good, Thomas Cook, Ross Milburn and Lee Pratt in the drop zone, starting row 6, Ryan Doran. For Haas, alongside him in 12 will be Adrian Rich in the Renault. Row 7, 13 will be the Alfa Romeo, Chris Knight, and alongside him will be Matt Goodyear in the Mercedes. And then in row 8, P15, Ryan Lear in the Haas. And remember, he'll be next door to Phil Harris in the Ferrari. So, interesting one there. Oh, Josh Diggle's just coming online. So, let's see what we have here. This is the final shootout session. Everyone, unsurprisingly, is on the soft compound tyre. So, no point going with that. And who's going to be the first man out? Now, this is the one, isn't it? Because who's going to scrub their tyres? Looks like it's the Red Bull. I think that could be Dylan Platt, or it might be Calum White.
It might be Calum White.
It is Calum White. No, it's not. Where is it?
Just one big train going out of the pit.
It's Dylan Platt. Or was it a Toro Rosso? No, it's not a Toro Rosso. Thomas Cook. Sure, that's Dylan Platt. No, Dylan's still
in Sean Street.
Sean Street. Oh my God.
Sean Street will be the first one.
No, it's a McLaren.
McLaren riding in front.
Yeah, McLaren riding in front there. Looked blue to me. Oh, I must be going colourblind, obviously, in my old age. Okay.
I was looking at a hard time too.
Yeah, it's like Very bizarre. Okay, so Sean Street in the McLaren, first man out on the track. He is followed by Thomas Cook and then Calum White. Oh, sorry, no, Thomas Cook and then I think Jake Sorrell and then Calum White, actually. So we'll stay with the McLaren 122s, what we were looking at. 121.1 was the fastest lap set by Dylan on those medium compound tyres. If he sets a 121 on the medium, what's he going to set on this Red Wall soft compound tyre? Jonah.
Well, to be honest, I was looking at the times of previous season, and the pole position time from Tom Stevens was set by 120.307. That was the pole time for last season.
So that's 0.8 faster than the best that Dylan has done so far. And bearing in mind, as I say, he was on the medium compound tyre. Sean Street now starting his fast lap. We will stay on board with him. Let's see what he can do. Is he going to be able to deliver this evening? McLaren's putting in the two second fastest times, both Sean Street and Tony Foster. Remembering they finished 2 and 3 in the Q2 session, so they certainly have the capability, don't they, Jonah?
Yeah, it looks like the car is feeling well to them, so let's just see where they're ending up.
And again, bearing in mind that, as always, last man on track, he's always got the option to set the fastest time, most rubber down on the track, nicely worn in. So some of these guys might hold off a bit longer. Some will just put a quick opening lap in, set a time, go into the pits. In fact, most of them will do, just to get an idea of where they are and where the rest are. And then we should see a lot of action, I suspect, around about sort of 3 and 4 minutes. But it's coming round now. Sean Street. 121.0, so the fastest lap so far of any of the Q sessions. And Thomas Cook immediately beats that with a 120.8. And we've got Ross Milburn coming round now. Let's see what he can do. He's closely followed. And that was Jake Sorrell there. He's already set a time, 121.5. Tony Foster, as I said, Ross Milburn, 121.
Dylan Platt going faster, 120.168.
Dylan Platt, a 120.168. Look at that. So he was nice and tight in behind that racing point there. So great run from him, 120.1. Sorry, what was Tom Stevens' lap last season?
120.307.
So he's already beat that by nearly 2 tenths, a tenth and a half.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. Now, see, these guys on the cool-down laps now, these guys that set time, they'll be on the cool-down laps, they'll come in. Jamie Good, what does he do? 122.0. Jack Wilson coming round 10 down into 11. Calum White still in the pits. He hasn't come out yet, so Calum's taking it, and Jack Wilson's lap has been invalidated. So you'll either have to come in or go out again. One of the two. So this is the time, Jonah, when we like to think or select who we think is going to be pole and who's going to take the win. So what do you think? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, just to be honest, when I'm looking at the standings now, seeing Dylan Platt setting on 120.1 to Thomas Cook 120.8, yeah, there's too big of a difference. I'm going for pole, Dylan Platt, and to be honest, for the race win too.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that you're going for that one, I've got to say. I've got to, obviously I can't go for Dylan. I'm going to go for Calum White for pole and Phil Harris for the win.
Oh, that's a big one. Phil Harris?
Phil Harris.
From P15 he will be starting.
16, is it?
16.
No, 16, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have to say, when he does win this race, or even might get a podium, DOTD, within range.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Phil, if you win this one, we'll be generous. We'll give you driver of the day. If that doesn't encourage you, I don't know what will. So a bit of a standing joke at the moment in F1 Tonight UK. Phil Harris, season 1 veteran, we can safely call him now. Somewhat disappointed he hasn't got driver of the day during the season.
Changed his name to it.
Yeah, he's pretty determined on that one, I've got to say. So we might be generous this season. It all depends, but we've laid it down, Phil. If you can finish this race and win, as I have predicted, by the way, then you will not only get the win, but you'll get the driver of the day as well. So there you go, Phil. If you're watching, or somebody who knows Phil's next to him is watching, let him know. I'm sure he'll be encouraged. We are now on board with Calum White. He is out on track at this moment in time. He has invalidated this lap, so he's not really pushing it too much now. He's winding up, getting ready for his exit. Let's go on board. Oh no, he's into the pits. Oh, interesting. He's coming to the pits. Okay, wasn't too sure. I think that was a bit of a last-minute decision there. So Calum White into the pits. This is the 4-minute session. So as I said, we're going to see some of the drivers coming out here. Yeah, Tony Foster just crosses the line there. He's in P7 at the moment. Lee Pratt in the pits. Jake Sorrell in the pits. Ross Milburn is on an out lap. Sean Street is out at this moment as well. He's down only just, though, about 7,000s, I think, or 700s that was. Thomas Cook in the pits and Dylan Platt in the pits. So let's stay with Sean Street. He's on a 1:21.0 for McLaren. Remember, he set the second fastest time in the Q2 session. He's done a purple in the Sector 1. So this is already looking good. To say, he was about 700ths down on his previous bests. Sorry, that was Q2. Q2. That was Sector 2.
Sector 2, sorry.
He's coming round now onto the start-finish line, and this is looking good. I've got to say, this is looking good. 120 certainly. 120.5. Whoa, my goodness me. Puts him into that P2 position, front row, alongside Dylan Platt. Great run there from Sean Street. Ross Milburn, he's just coming round 9. Let's see what he can do there. He's currently sitting in that P4 position, 121.2. Tony Foster just jumped up to P5, yeah. So row 3, P5, Tony Foster just up there with a 121.3. Ross Milburn we're on board with at the moment. He's on a 121.2, coming round into turn 14 now. Oh, very wide out of 14, bit wobbly. Round 15, I think he's lost time there. Into 16. This is going to be a 121. Oh, 120.6. Wow, puts him into that P3, row 2 position. So great run from him. Tony Foster, as we know, he's just jumped up onto 5. Everyone else in the pits. Jack Wilson out on track at the moment, still to set a time. And Calum White as well. And Calum is definitely leaving it. He's going to have to come out soon. Jack Wilson coming around now towards, into Sector 2. Let's see what he can do. He hasn't set a time as yet. He must set a time. Otherwise he could see himself right at the back. Although saying that, Calum White hasn't set a time either as yet. Sector 2.
Yeah, Calum White has to come out pretty soon now.
He's going to need to come out pretty soon. It's already 1:27. If he doesn't come out now, that's it. Oh, he's on an out lap. He is on his out lap.
He is on an out lap.
So let's have a look. Jack Wilson now. Oh, ooh, very, very wide out of 14 there. He's lost time certainly there. What can he do? It's a 1:21.8. Yeah, lost a lot of time there, but at least he set a time. Oh, Oh, dearie me, lost it there into the wall. Jamie Good, 1:22.0. Calum White out on track now on his outlap, coming round turn 10. We'll stay on him for his fast lap. Calum White, I said, for pole. Dylan Platt currently holding it with 1:20.1, so he's going to need to better that. I think if anyone can, Calum can.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I know. So Calum getting some heat into those tyres as much as he possibly can now, winding it up, tension rising as he gets ready to put in the lap of his life here at Albert Park. Let's go on board with Calum White as he starts his final lap into 1, 2. Good exit there. Working it hard into 3. Good, good, nice and clean. Round 4, build up the power now. Into 5, 6, 7, now round 8. Is he going to set a purple time here?
Dylan even went faster than his 1:20.1. He just put in a 1:90.8.
1:19.8. Dylan's laid down the gauntlet now to Calum White. Calum has not gone purple in sector 1. So he's already down. Oh, he's lost it!
He's lost it!
Oh, look at that! But he did not take out his wheels. Ho, ho, ho. That was lucky. But Dylan Platt, well, what a fantastic lap from him. 1:19.820. Remember, fastest lap in season 1 set by Tom Stevens was a 1:20.3. That's correct, isn't it, Jonah?
Yeah, exactly.
So 1:20.3, and Calum
Dylan,
has taken out half a second from that. What a fantastic result there. So Dylan Platt will be starting pole. Alongside him will be Sean Street in the McLaren in row 1. Row 2 will be Ross Milburn in P3. Alongside him will be Thomas Cook in the Alfa Romeo. Row 3, P5, Lee Pratt in the Ferrari. Sorry, Lee Pratt, yeah, in the Ferrari, that's right. Alongside him will be Tony Foster in the McLaren, and we'll run through the top 10 in just 1 second, but obviously Dylan Platt, well done. Jonah, well chosen there. But Sean Street, fantastic run from him. Should have seen it coming, really, with that Q2 session. Ross Milburn for Racing Point said he'll be starting row 2, P3. Then we have Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo. He'll be in P4 alongside him. Row 3, P5, it will be Lee Pratt in the Ferrari. Alongside him will be Tony Foster in the McLaren. Row 4, P7 will be the Racing Point of Jake Sorrell, and alongside him in P8 will be Jack Wilson in the Renault. Row 5, P9 will be the Toro Rosso Jamie Good, and alongside him will be Calum White in the Red Bull. How disappointed is Calum White going to be about that Q session there?
I think he will be pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
Just
disappointed.
to be short.
Disappointed, 2 words. One starting P, the other starting with an O.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are now getting ready. Are the guys having a little bit of a break before we go into this session? I'm not too sure what the score is. Would we have a little 5-minute break or not, Jonah?
I'll just go and ask.
I think they might well do, and that gives us an opportunity to do a quick little summary there, and obviously go through some of the drivers as well. Sean Street, as I say, obviously fantastic opening lap from him. Sean, 94% attendance in season 1. 16 Grand Prix he competed in, out 17. He started a little bit later on. His season debut was actually in Spain. 1 podium, 109 points, 5 DNFs. So he also holds the record for best performance in qualifying for a new driver. So he's done well. And Adrian's prediction was qualifying 7th, race 7th. Well, he's already beaten that by qualifying in P2. So that's going to be a very interesting one indeed. The other one is Thomas Cook as well. Thomas Cook, obviously in the Alfa Romeo. Remember, he qualified in P4. Great run from him. Thomas, 89% attendance, 8 Grand Prix out of 9. So he actually started halfway through season 1. Best 15, 26 points. 0 pole, 0 wins, 1 podium, 1 driver of the day, 5 DNFs. And Adrian's prediction for him for this race was qualifying 6th, race 5th. Well, he's qualified P4, so he hasn't done too bad there. So let's see how he continues with that. And definitely going to be an interesting one. I also want to have a quick look here, actually, at Tony Foster. Because Tony Foster, remember, he's qualified in P5. 18 Grand Prix out of 21, 86% attendance, 75 points, 2 DNFs. And Adrian's qualifying 10th, race 7th. So Tony, again, beating Adrian's stats-rich predictions. So interesting one there. But it's so difficult. I mean, obviously, you can look at previous form. It's a bit like horse racing, isn't it? You can look at previous form, and that obviously does count for a lot. But season opener, we don't know how much practice these guys have been putting in. We don't know how comfortable they feel with the cars. Because a lot of it, you know, even though there's no competitive difference between the cars, the feel and the style, the driving style of the cars differs from team to team, doesn't it, Jonah?
Yeah, definitely. There is a little bit of difference between each car, not that much. You can run with a Mercedes, for example, front wing 5, back rear wing 3, and with Racing Point you can run it with 4 on 3. So yeah, there is a slight difference between the cars, but also, yeah, of course you have a difference between fuel settings within the cars. Yeah. Actually, to be honest, whenever you get in a car, it doesn't matter what car you have. It always feels different,
yeah,
compared to your previous one.
They do, and I think there definitely are some cars that you feel more comfortable in, and others that you don't, aren't there?
Yeah, definitely. For example, myself, I was running last season with a Ferrari. Now I'll be running with a Toro Rosso. So yeah, I already mentioned it before. Yeah, there is just that bit of a difference within the car that yeah, that can make it easier or just harder to drive it.
I've got to say, I mean, if you're saying Ferrari to Toro Rosso, my immediate thought on that is that the Toro Rosso is going to feel a lot looser than the Ferrari.
Yeah, but what the biggest difference is between those two cars is that the sound of the engine is different, of course. Ferrari is running with its own engine, Toro Rosso is running with a Honda engine. So yeah, the sound that I use to know when to shift up or down is just different, and that way the whole car feels different.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that, and that obviously that does make sense. And yeah, I've got to say, I always find that when I go Red Bull and Toro Rosso, but Toro Rosso certainly more so, does seem to feel a looser car. It's more of a car that you feel like you could, not that you do, but it's almost like you can power slide round corners.
Yeah,
they're a little bit more twitchy, whereas, you know, the Ferrari, the Mercedes and the Red Bull tend to have higher grip, let's put it like that.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know who it was that said it, but there was someone who said you need to let your car dance around the track, not drive around the track.
Yeah. Well, very often I know when myself and Adrian are commentating, and it's very, very true, I think, for all tracks, and it's certainly worth mentioning, I'm glad you bring it up, that there is a rhythm to the tracks, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. That is one thing for sure.
Okay, so the drivers are now underway on their processional lap. So let's get on board with them. Just turn that off. Okay, so leading the way, as we say, is Dylan Platt in the Red Bull. P2 is Sean Street in the McLaren. P3 is Here's the racing point of Ross Milburn. It's Ross, isn't it?
Yeah, Ross Milburn.
Yeah. I'm just... Ah, there we go. That's better now. I can see what I'm talking about now. So, Ross Milburn in the racing point. P4, we have Thomas Cook in the Alfa Romeo. P5, we have Lee Pratt in the Ferrari. P6, we have the McLaren of Tony Foster. I thought it was actually P5. Jake Sorrell in the Racing Point 7. 8 is Jack Wilson in the Renault. 9 is Jamie Good in the Toro Rosso. 10 is Calum White in the Red Bull. 11 is Ryan Doran in the Haas. 12 is Adrian Rich in the Renault. 13 is Chris Knight in the Alfa Romeo. 14 is Matt Goodyear in the Ferrari, the Mercedes. Ryan Lear, I'm losing the plot here, in the Haas is 15. 16, as we know, is Phil Harris in that Ferrari. 17 is Cameron Widdowson. And bringing up the rear, 18 is Josh Diggles, who joined late but is with us. So Josh Diggles. There he is. Okay, so the guy's getting ready now on the track as we get ready for the start of this Season 2 opening race here, Albert Park, Australia, for F1 Tonight UK, and they're off. And immediately Dylan Platt pulls away Sean Street. Look at this, already up 2 places. Tony Foster to P4. Oh, down 2 is Dylan. Oh my goodness me, Dylan's down 1 now. Sean Street has got ahead of him. Sean Street has got ahead of him. Dylan Platt is in 2. Ross Milburn is in 3. Look at this, 3 abreast. They're coming down to 3. Ross Milburn, Thomas Cook, and Tony Foster. Tony Foster to...
Oh, virtual safety car, virtual safety car.
VSC is out. Yeah, VSC is out. So that's why we saw all the cars slowing down there. They've got to stay within the sector time, but surely how do they determine the sector time? Because they haven't even been round yet.
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that one out.
I'm already seeing that Josh Diggle already received a 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag, so that's one thing you need to take into account.
He's got to take into account. So quickly run through this. Sean Street has taken the lead from Dylan Platt. So Sean Street leads the way. Dylan Platt is down 1 to 2. Ross Milburn stays where he was. Tony Foster's up 2 to 4. Thomas Cook down 1 to 5. Lee Pratt down 1 to 6. James Sorrell stays where he is, as does Jack Wilson and Jamie Good. Up 3 is Chris Knight to 10. Ryan Doran stays where he is. Up 6 is Josh Diggles. And Calum White is also up 4. Adrian Rich is down 2. Matt Goodyear down 1. Phil Harris stays where he is. And down 2 is Calum White. And Ryan Lear is already out. Sean Street now is under pressure from Dylan as they're coming round to finish the first lap now. VSC obviously deactivated. Dylan is chasing down Sean Street now, isn't he? Look at this.
But Thomas Cook is having a hard time getting into the pits. Need to go through all the traffic, but he just made it.
Yeah, into the pits, Thomas Cook, Calum White and Jamie Good. So clearly there was some contact there. Ryan Lear did DNF. We didn't see what happened there. I don't know if you caught it at all, Jonah.
No, to be honest, not exactly. I was just watching Dylan Platt losing his pole just when it happened. Meanwhile, Phil Harris is getting up on the grid.
Yeah, Phil Harris already up to P12. Never started in P17, so great run there from Phil Harris. Dylan Platt is not able to keep up or keep the pace at the moment with Sean Street, but Sean Street surely must be pulling out all the stops here. But is he? It's not too bad. ERS. Sorry, ERS is looking good. Pretty much equal with Dylan Platt. Dylan on the medium, Sean Street obviously on the softs. Then we've got Ross Milburn. He's in P3. He's on the soft tyres. Lee Pratt is in 4. Oh, and Lee under pressure there. Sorry, just watching. Tony Foster just in behind him. Tony Foster really tight in behind Lee Pratt. Lee Pratt tight in behind Ross Milburn. But Tony Foster really giving it some. Jack Wilson right on the tail of that McLaren of Tony Foster as well in the Renault. Oh, and Tony loses it round 15. Yes, Jack Wilson gets ahead of him. He just locked up. I don't know if he locked up, missed a gear, but he really missed out there. Jack Wilson jumps up into fifth. Tony Foster down into sixth. He's trying to come back at him now as they're coming down to turn one. Can he do it? Gets on the inside. Oh, goes over the rough stuff. No, he can't get it back. And behind him is Jake Sorrell. Jake very nearly going into the back of Tony Foster there as they're coming round 1-2. He's tight in behind that McLaren. Tony's going to be absolutely kicking himself there, but also in the play we've got Chris Knight in the Alfa Romeo, and just in behind him is Josh Diggles pushing hard. Alfa Romeo here of Chris Knight trying to get into sixth. This is going to be interesting. Side by side, goes on to Rostov, pushes the Racing Point over to the side, gets through as they're coming round 8, and now Josh Diggles is pushing. Oh, sorry, Jake Sorrell and Josh Diggles. Yeah, he didn't quite manage it. Jake Sorrell, Chris Knight got through. Jake Sorrell's dropped down. Josh Diggles is now pushing on there. Another VSC.
Calum White has
and then Calum White has gone out. Okay,
I
don't know
can see
where
that
is.
in the after turn 2, is it? I think he just lost it exiting on turn 2.
Can't see anything here.
Oh, Adrian Rich receiving a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, see that. Adrian Rich, DRS has now been enabled. So we're back into yellow conditions here. Don't know where Calum White went out, but well, that's my prediction, Don, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, not quite. I mean,
But
I did say pole. Phil Harris is the one I put for the win. He didn't get pole, Calum, and he hasn't finished where he certainly wanted to be. Not the opening race that he was looking for. So Sean Street still leading the way, but he's
Tony
only
Foster
1
went out
second.
on the right-hand side.
Tony Foster's gone out.
Tony Foster.
Yeah, Tony Foster's gone out. Oh, look at that on the right-hand side there. And that's out of 2 down towards turn 3. That's a bit. He must have lost it on the rough stuff out of 2.
And I think Matt Goodyear has a flat tire because he's driving really slow.
He is driving very slow. Let's actually go on board with him.
Front wing damage.
Yeah, he's got a front puncher, front left. Just having a look here. No, it's not front left. No, tyre looks good. Is it the front right? I think it might be. Can't see. He does have a puncher. He's just spun the car. Not too sure what's happening there. Oh,
now
God, he's got to be careful.
Really
don't know what's happening there. Really struggling. That's very, very strange.
I'm looking on board. It's not looking like a flat tire.
No, but it's acting like a flat tire. It's the rear.
Ah, it's the rear left side.
Yeah, it's got a rear left inside. Oh,
yeah, that's extremely hard
me.
to get into the pits now.
So difficult, because that's the thing. That's where your power comes down, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the problem that he's got, is because that is the set of wheels to which the power is effectively transferred. And with that flat tyre, it's very, very unpredictable. It will just basically steer itself away from where you're going. You want to go left, and then the back tyre will just go right, and the back end of the car will just swing out. He's going to get back in the pits. He's going to have to take it very, very easy indeed.
And there's a full safety car out now.
Full safety car is out, yeah. That does make sense. That does make sense, because there's no way that he'd be able to come back. He's probably going to lose it again here around 11 and 12 if he doesn't careful. Yeah, I thought he would as he lays down the power out of 12. Yeah, it's not an easy one. Okay, so the safety car is out. We've already had a number of DNFs. Boy, it's all gone on, and there's only 5 laps gone. We're not even a fifth of the way through the race, or just about. So let's have a quick recap while cars come together around the safety car. Ryan Lear was the first man to go out. That was right in the opening lap. Calum White went out, I think that was lap 3 or 4. Looks like he lost it to, where did you say he lost it? Was that getting turn 2, same place as Tony Foster?
Yeah, turn 2.
Yeah, turn
exactly
2. So on the exit of turn 2, trying to retrieve that coming down into 3. Calum White lost it. Tony Foster also went out there. Thomas Cook has gone out as well, although I'm not too sure where he went out. So we've got 4 DNFs. Matt Goodyear, bless him, we are on board him at the moment. He's trying to get round to the pits, and I've got to say, he's doing a good job of it considering. The only problem here is obviously if that tyre comes off and then there's debris on the track, but it doesn't look like it will, and he's going over the grass to get into the pit. Good, wise move there, taking it nice and easy. Okay, so safety car is out. That came out at lap 5, which means it won't go in until closing of lap 7. So it'll come in at the end of lap 7, I suspect. It could be lap 8, as you rightly say, Jonah, but I think it might be lap 7. So, Sean Street leads the way. He's on the soft compound tyres. Then we've got Dylan Platt in close behind him. He's in second place. Ross Milburn is in third. Let's have a quick look here at position changes. So Ross Milburn stays where he was in third. Lee Pratt is up 1 from 5 to 4 in that Ferrari. We have Jack Wilson in the Renault. He's up 3 from 8. Phil Harris, though. Phil, did you hear me? did Phil hear me?
I think he did.
I think he might have done, you know. I think he might have done. I mean, that certainly warrants that coming up. So Phil Harris has come up from P16 to P6. But I have to say, he is not the only one, because Cameron Widdowson as well, what a great job from him in the Rocket Williams. Started in 17 and he's up 10 as well. So he's obviously following Phil Harris very closely, I would suspect, on that one. So Cameron Widdowson, great job from him as well. Jake Sorrell, he's down 1 to 8. Up 2 to 9 is Ryan Doran. Josh Stiggles is up 8 to 10. Chris Knight is up 2 to 11. Adrian Rich is currently in P12. Jamie Good is down to 13, and 14 Matt Goodyear stays where he is, and he's I think he's going to be glad that he's actually got a car to race, considering what happened to him.
Yeah, exactly. In the meanwhile, Jack Wilson just went into the pits, which means that Phil Harris and Cameron Wilson just get a spot up to P5 and P6.
5 laps. Why has he come into the pits? Was he on a set of softs, or?
From what I've seen, he just went into, I think it was the barrier, but I don't know for sure. He just lost a little bit of his front left wing.
Okay. We are getting ready now. Lap 7. As they're coming round, everyone pretty much caught up. The only ones that haven't is Jack Wilson. So I don't know whether they will. They should probably catch up, I think, before they get round. I am predicting that the safety car will come in at the end of this lap. That's not to say that it will, because it could stay out for another lap. I mean, you know, this is pretty crazy. Lap 7. We've already seen 2 VSCs and a full safety car.
Yeah, that's. I don't think it is a record, but yeah, it definitely will be close to one.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a record. Well, I'm sure it's not a record. I'm
safety
sure
car is coming in this lap.
Yeah, so safety car is coming in at the end of this lap 7 now. So this is the one, Sean Street. He's getting some heat into those tyres. He will now dominate the start of this lap. He cannot go past the safety car until it is safely in the pit lane and over the line, which is interesting because he's really going to have to hold back here at the moment. He's going to have to open it up out 16. He's opened up out 15. Yep, comes around 16 now. Yeah, and he's off. He can't overtake it. He's done it perfectly. Well timed there. And he's off.
Meanwhile,
already.
Ross Milburn is very close up to Dylan Platt.
Look at this. Ross Milburn, Dylan Platt there. Very, very tight in behind Sean Street as they come round 1, 2. Line astern there. You can see Phil Harris in the background. Lee Pratt as well. So the 2 Ferraris also battling it out, and look at this though. I mean, Dylan is just riding his tail, but Sean is doing a fantastic job there, staying ahead of him and defending that line really well. And you can see Ross Milburn in the background as well now. He's coming under pressure from Phil Harris. So Phil Harris now right up behind Ross Milburn as they're coming down into 9. Is he going to be able to do it?
Just went off.
No contact there, but Phil's certainly trying to get there. Dylan's still close in behind Sean Street. It's a real battle going on for 1 and 3 here.
In the meanwhile, Josh Diggles just went up a place, overtaking Jack Wilson.
Phil Harris trying to get on the inside now. He comes down towards turn 13. Nicely done.
Oh, Ryan Doran went out,
job.
and there's another virtual safety car.
Oh, VSC again. Who's this for? Ryan
Doran.
So, what's happened to Ryan Doran? Let's have a look.
They already went past him, but from what I can see, it's just around turn 12, I think.
Oh, Cameron Widdowson going off there. Oh dear, he's got dirt on his tyres. That's not going to be good. He's just ahead of Matt Goodyear. Matt Goodyear didn't take advantage of that. Obviously, they're under the yellow flag. Now they're racing again. So, Ryan Doran
Oh, Josh Diggles just went out.
Josh Diggles
on the wrong side in turn 1.
He's still on track, Josh Diggles.
Yeah, he just went off.
Right, so Phil Harris, Ross Milburn. Phil Harris is in that P3 position. He's got ahead of Ross Milburn. Shame didn't catch that. I was just on it there. I think that was as they were coming round out of 2 down into 3. So Phil Harris now up into that P3 position. Ross Milburn is in 4. Phil Harris in 3. Sean Street is 2 because Dylan Platt has taken place from him as well. So okay, so Sean Street now drops into 2. Dylan Platt leads the way, and again that was in sector 1 from Dylan Platt. So Dylan Platt and Phil Harris made a move on their respective targets, which was Sean Street and Ross Milburn, moving up to places. So Dylan Platt now in 1, Phil Harris is in 3, Sean Street is 2, and Ross Milburn is 4. Jake Sorrell though, 1.3 seconds off the back of Ross Milburn, his teammate. So these 4 guys are really dominating. The front 2 starting to pull away. So we're already starting to see the field break up a bit, aren't we, John?
Not entirely, because obviously Dylan Platt, Ross Milburn, Jake Sorrell and Lee Pratt are running on the medium tires, and for sure Sean Street and Phil Harris should gain just a little bit more.
Sorry, just watching the fight here between Lee Pratt and Chris Knight. Chris Knight getting ahead of Lee Pratt as they're wheel to wheel coming round 1 and 2. Lee Pratt not backing off, but Chris Knight getting ahead of him. So I think Lee's going to try and see if he can come back at him. Probably round 8 and 10 he's going to try, I would suspect. But Chris Knight really doing well there. Chris also, well, I mean, he's relatively new. He's only done 3 Grand Prix, so 100% attendance, because that was the 3 that he did. So his debut race was actually USA. 1 podium in those 3 and 39 points collected. And Adrian's prediction was that he'd qualify 3rd and finish 4th. So interesting one there. Didn't qualify certainly in 3rd, but
It's 4th place is still in reach.
4th place is still certainly in reach, so that's going to be an interesting one. So Lee Pratt at this moment in time is down in 7. Chris Knight has gone up to 6 for Alfa Romeo. Jake Sorrell in the Racing Point is in 5. His teammate Ross Milburn is ahead of him in 4. Phil Harris is in 3. Sean Street is in 2, and Dylan Platt is in 1. Phil Harris setting the fastest lap of 1:26.1 so far during this race. We are on lap 11 of 58, and if you're in doubt as to what you're watching, well, this is F1 Tonight UK. This is a season 2 on 2019. Xbox 100% races. All cars equal, other than what we were talking about a little bit earlier on as feel and touch, basically. So really fantastic first opening season for F1 Tonight UK. Really complimenting the F1 Tonight NL boys. For those of you that might want to watch some more action this week, we've got F1 Tonight NL racing on Thursday night, and that's 8:30 Central European Time, 7:30 British Standard Time. So if you want to watch that, watch the YouTube channel Thursday night, 7:30 UK, 8:30 Europe. We are on board with Dylan Platt, who is our race leader at this moment in time, and I've got to say he's done a great job. He's although Sean Street, obviously fantastic job from him when he opened up, took that first place immediately on the first lap from Dylan Platt and held out up until well, about a lap or so ago, so 2 laps ago. So he's in that P2 position, still strong points to be collected from him, and not necessarily what we're looking for, Sean Street. Again, so many drivers here, so many competent drivers. It's a little bit difficult, but he's doing well, isn't he, Sean?
Yeah, he's definitely doing very well. Yeah, to be honest, the soft tires are now just losing the grip against the medium tires. Although, to be honest, he's just set a purple first sector in this lap, so I might be just talking too soon now.
Indeed. Well, I mean, he's done 94% attendance, attended 16 Grand Prix out of 17. His debut was in Spain. He's had 1 podium, 109 points, no driver of the day, 5 DNFs, and agents predicted qualifying 7th, race 7th. Well, as I said earlier, he's certainly beat that prediction, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's have a quick look at where the guys are on these tyres. So, as you were mentioning, Jonah, soft wall tyres probably starting to go off now. We've got Sean Street, who we're on board with now. His tyres are 11 laps old, but also Phil Harris's, interestingly enough, who's close in behind him. Phil Harris, remember, started all the way down in P16. He's already up to P3, 13 places in 13 laps. Well, he's actually done it quicker than that. But they're going to be coming in. How soon are they going to be coming in, do you think? Oh, look at this. They're side by side. Sorry, Jonah. They're side by side coming down to 3, and Phil Harris has made the move. Phil Harris makes the move on Sean Street, out of 2, down into 3, and I think he caught Sean slightly napping there, wasn't he?
It was definitely a very clean move.
Oh, very clean move, but you know, I think he just caught Sean Street a bit unawares. I think Sean was thinking he was comfortably sitting in behind him. Well, didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of respect between those guys.
Absolutely. Good move there from Phil Harris. Look at this, 16 up to P2 after 13 laps. Now, I think he wants driver of the day, Jonah.
It's definitely a kind of a motivation, you can say. Ooh, just went by.
Yep. So, Phil Harris up into P2. Dylan Platt is in 1. Sean Street is in 3. Ross Milburn is in 4. Jake Sorrell 5. Chris Knight in that Alfa Romeo challenging there. Jake Sorrell really pushing hard here, isn't he? Look at that. Really makes Jake make a mistake. Takes advantage of it. Round 14. And I've got to say, Chris Knight pushing hard there, and obviously Adrian's predictions, he's a hard cookie. 39 points, 3 races, 100% attendance, 39 points. Yeah, he's definitely one to watch this season too, by the looks of it.
Yeah, looks like it, yeah.
So that's Chris Knight, and he's now zoning in on Ross Milburn. He's a racing point sandwich. He's taking care of the first slice, Jake Sorrell. Now he's looking to take care of that second slice, Ross Milburn.
Yeah, his tyres are only 9 laps old against Ross Milburn, running on the harder tyre, 13 laps old, so I think he just has his advantage there.
Yeah, you could see him possibly, if he can get close enough, make a move out of 9, round 10. Possibly out of 12. Got the DRS obviously as you're coming round on the exit of 12.
Ooh, Sean Street went off. Getting back on track now. Yeah, back on track on Ooh, and he's again. Yeah, definitely.
So Sean Street there, unfortunately,
Leaping back
destroys all the work he did in the previous 15 laps by going off. And he's going to be absolutely gutted with that. Lost it out at 12, then lost it again into 13. And yeah, he is not going to be a happy bunny with that. But he's on soft compound tyre, so he's going to come in. He's going on to the hard compound tyre. Now, that's interesting. First man in, well, not first man. No, he's not the first man in, but he's gone to the hard. But outside of a number of others, Sean Street, Matt Goodyear's gone on to the hards. Adrian Rich has gone on to the hards. Jack Wilson has gone on to the hards. So these guys, Jack Wilson, I think, was the man who probably came in earlier. No, Adrian Rich did. So they're all going on to the hards.
Full safety car.
Oh, Chris Knight's retired. Where's he gone out? He's gone out on the exit of 12. Look at him on the right-hand side there. So Chris Knight in that Alfa Romeo has gone out. And that's on the exit of 12, coming into no corner. Or the no corner between 12 and 13. Sorry, you were saying, Jonah?
Dylan Platt and Phil Harris immediately coming into the pits.
Yeah, they're both in. Safety car is out.
Both
so
going on to the medium tyres.
They've both gone on to medium compound tyres, as Jonah pointed out there. So we're going to see a number of pit changes. Jake Sorrell has now assumed P1, Lee Pratt 2, Jack Wilson 3.
And assuming there will be rain, this could be an advantage for Jack Wilson.
I was about to say, I was just about to say that. I mean, obviously the guys that are on the mediums, they'll be coming in. I would suspect they're probably going to be coming in round about lap 30, between 27 and sort of 32, sort of around about lap 30, let's say. But Jack Wilson, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, he needs to stay ahead of Dylan Platt and Phil Harris. And with the greatest respect in the world, that's going to be his challenge, is to keep them behind him, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But also on the long term, because when the medium tires are starting to go off, he should gain his advantage again.
Yeah, but it depends how far he drops behind them. I mean,
yeah.
Jack obviously, certainly, without any shadow of a doubt, competent driver, no two ways about it. And, actually, while we're talking about competent drivers, and we have the safety car out, let's have a little ride up about Jack Wilson. 14 Grand Prix to 17, 18 attendance. Debut again was in Spain. He's had one podium, 36 points, one driver of the day, 7 DNFs. Fiery rivalry with Sean Street, interesting. Teammate obviously Adrian Rich, and Adrian predicted they'd be qualifying 4th and finish the race in 4th. Well, he didn't qualify in 4th, but he is now in P3, and the thing, Jack's going to have to be careful. He's obviously going to have these guys overtake him at some stage. The next closest is his teammate Adrian Rich. What he needs to do is just stay within a reasonable window of those two guys. I don't know what the pit stop here is, but I would suspect it's quite quick, so I would say it's probably around about 17, 18 seconds.
To be honest, I don't know exactly. I did not test that one.
But, I mean, it's basically a very short in and short out, so I would think it's going to be, let's say 15 seconds.
I'm thinking more about 15, 16 seconds, yeah.
15, 16 seconds, let's say 15 seconds. As long as Jack stays within about 8 seconds, even 10 seconds of those guys, he stands a really good opportunity here, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's where I can see he should have just the advantage. Maybe not now, but definitely then.
It's going to be interesting to see. Jack Wilson, we are discussing at this moment in time, is currently in P3. He's on the hard compound tyres. What we're looking at is Dylan Platt and Phil Harris, who are behind him. They were first and second in the race till they pitted. They are on the mediums. They will undoubtedly look to try and take him on track, and not putting Jack down in any way. They more than likely will get past him. The question is how long Jack can hold them off for. But the other thing is, as well, is that their pit windows, actually, I think their pit windows are going to collide.
Yeah, it's just very hard now to predict what
I'd say those pit windows are going to collide, actually. And that's going to be the interesting one. So, Okay, yeah.
Well, safety car's coming in again.
So safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap 17. We will be getting racing underway. Jake Sorrell currently leading, so he will be the man.
Diggle just lost a piece of his front wing.
Josh Diggles, yeah, just
went
got a 5
into the back
second,
of Jamie Good.
Went into the back of Jamie Good. 5-second penalty for going in the back of Jamie Good. So that's Josh Diggles in the Mercedes. Went into the back of the Toro Rosso, but he's got damage. Will he pit now? Makes sense if he does. So Sean winding them up now, getting them ready. Lee Pratt ready to pounce as well. When is Jake going to go? He's going now, that's it. So Jake opens it up. Lee Pratt in close behind him. Then we have Jack Wilson, Dylan Platt and Phil Harris. Jack Wilson looking to make a move on Lee Pratt. Dylan right on the tails at the moment of Jack Wilson. They're coming down towards 3 now. Look at this line astern there. Ferrari, Renault, Red Bull, Ferrari, Renault. This is the wonderful thing about safety car. That's why I don't like the VSC safety car. Much more exciting in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you there.
So Dylan Platt really pushing hard on Jack Wilson. They're coming round 8, looks to make the move. Side by side, gets the move done before they get into 9. Phil Harris couldn't quite make the move on Jack Wilson, so he's still in behind him. And he's likely to make the move now, round 10. So Phil Harris making the move now. So they're coming round 10, down towards 11. Gets ahead of Jack Wilson. So that's Dylan Platt and Phil Harris past Jack Wilson. Relatively, oh, who's that? Just got spinning out. And that's Jack Wilson. Jack Wilson lost it out of 12, went sideways. Very, very lucky he didn't get any collision with any other driver there. Drops down to P11. Oh, he's going to be gutted. But then again, not surprisingly, on those hard compound tyres, end of the safety car, his problem was he didn't have the heat in those tyres, therefore the grip, did he?
That's just what it looks like. In exactly, it's very hard to maintain the heat in your tyres when driving after the safety car that slow.
Yeah, yeah.
In the meantime, both
Phil Harris,
3-second
time penalty. So Phil Harris has just picked up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. He's side by side with Ross Milburn now, and Ross has got ahead of him. So Phil drops down into 5. So he's obviously had issues there as well. So he's dropped back into 5. Ross Milburn got back ahead of him. He's in 4, and he's chasing down Lee Pratt, who's ahead of him in the Ferrari. So now it's the other way round. Ross Milburn is in a Ferrari sandwich. So he's going to be looking to get past Lee Pratt. And in the meantime, ahead of him, Dylan Platt closing down on Jake Sorrell. Let's have a look at this. Jake Sorrell leading the way in this race at this moment in time. But Dylan Platt on a much fresher set of medium tyres, really ramping up the pressure now as they come out of 12. He's probably going to be looking to try and make a move down into 13. Jake Sorrell trying to manoeuvre around him, lets him through. Yeah, he's thinking, yeah, not much. Oh, and Dylan's gone out! Dylan has gone out! He went on the rough stuff as he came round 13 on the right, left-hand side, and it just spun him out. Dylan Platt. Oh my goodness me, what a shame. Dylan Platt in the Red Bull is out of this race on lap 19, and safety car is out again. Oh, first ever. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely is. Our season 1 champion has just gone out. No points for him. Yeah, sad to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is though, it happens, and that's the thing. He made the move before he got down into 13. But unfortunately, as he came around 13, he went onto the grass on the left-hand side, went back on the track, but it just spun him out, and that was it.
I think this might just be a case of overdriving a car, trying too hard.
Possibly so. I mean, yeah, very possibly so, actually, to be fair. But we will see what happens with regards to that. But I've got to say, very, very surprised. He's only had 3 previous DNFs out of 21 races. Not what he was looking for here. But Ross Milburn, well, he leads the way as another safety car comes out. So that's 3 safety cars and 3 VSCs, and we're only on lap 20.
Yeah, this could be in for a long race. So let's see.
Certainly looking that way, Jonah, at this moment in time. So Ross Milburn leads the way. Phil Harris is in 2nd place. Lee Pratt, his teammate, is in 3rd. Adrian Rich in the Renault is now up to 4th. Jamie Good in the Toro Rosso is 5th. Sean Street is 6th. Cameron Widdowson in the Rocket Williams is 7th. Jake Soul in the Racing Point is 8th. Jack Wilson in the Renault 9. Josh Diggles in the Mercedes is 10. So they're in the points at the moment. Matt Goodyear is in 11 as he comes round now. So both Mercedes bringing up the rear. DNFs, well, let's go in reverse order. The most recent first, Dylan Platt has gone out DNF. Chris Knight for Alfa Romeo. Ryan Doran is out. Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo. Tony Foster for McLaren. Calum White for Red Bull. And Ryan Lear for Haas. Is that both Haas drivers out, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so both Haas drivers there are out. So that's Ryan Lear and Ryan Doran. Don't overtake the safety car. Ross. Look like he's going to make a move with the safety car there. Okay, so we're on lap 21 of 58. This is F1 Tonight UK Season 2. Race 1, the debut race of Season 2. For those of you who called us Season 1, I'm sure this is eagerly anticipated. Change of teams for all the drivers here. Some pairings staying together, though, has to be said. Tony Foster staying together with his teammate. Although, unfortunately, they both... well, no, one's gone out. Sean Street still in there, which is in P6. That's the only team, effectively, that remains. So obviously change of car in the Ferrari, this year in the McLaren. So what is going to happen? 3 safety cars, 3 VSCs, and we've already seen 6 DNFs, and we're not even halfway through this race. We do expect a dry race, although in the closing stages there will be rain. And I've got to say, Jonah, if in the closing stages they thought there was going to be heavy rain, with the amount of safety cars and VSCs we've had, they should hit that rain patch, shouldn't they?
Quite soon, to be honest, I think. Well, these are weather predictions, so I don't know how reliable they are. Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, as I was saying, sorry, I was actually reading that, but yeah, safety car is in. They are back racing. Ross Milburn leading the way. Phil Harris coming down, trying to attack, and in the background you can see Lee Pratt and Adrian Rich fighting it out. Oh, and Jamie Good, what's going on? Adrian Rich has gone out. Adrian Rich has gone out. Yeah, and he was fighting there with Lee Pratt. And that was, where was it? Turn 3? No, it wasn't.
No,
it was turn
just
2.
before turn 2.
Yeah, just before
Actually,
turn 2.
turn 1.
So Adrian Rich in the Renault is out. Adrian Snatch Rich. I don't know if that was a coming together with Lee Pratt, but they were definitely fighting it out in the background there. Didn't quite see what happened. So, another DNF, Adrian Rich. That's 7 DNFs with 11 remaining, 10 remaining in the field now. Lee Pratt is now in 3rd place. Jamie Good is 4th. Sean Street is up to 5. Jake Sorrell is 6. Josh Diggles is 7. Cameron Widdowson is in 8. And Jack Wilson is 9. And Matt Goodyear is in 10. Okay, well,
Phil Harris has taken over the lead.
And Phil Harris has taken the lead. Yeah, Phil Harris has taken the lead from Ross Milburn. So Phil Harris now leading this race. Did I call Phil Harris for the win?
Let's get on with it.
I did, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I called Phil Harris for the win. we've still got a way to go. To be fair, the way it's going, there's no guarantee he will.
No. Not with this amount of safety cars and virtual safety cars.
Yeah, it's certainly panned out to be one of those types of races, that's for sure. But a lot of excitement, a lot of tension, and I'm sure that this opening race, a lot of the drivers were far more twitchy and nervy than they are before any other race. Season opener, always the one to go for. But yeah, this has been unbelievable so far, got to say. Phil Harris, though, leading the way at this moment in time in his debut race for Ferrari in this season 2 of F1 Tonight UK. And he's doing a great job, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure, he's doing a great job.
Gotta say, most impressed with our Phil. I'm sure he's going to be most impressed with himself, especially when he gets that driver of the day if he maintains it. Then we've got Ross Milburn in second. And got to say, Ross Milburn's done a great job himself as well. Okay, a lot of the safety cars and incidents have played into his hands, but he's in that P2 position and you can't take it away from him unless you're on track, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, Josh Diggles just took Sean Street for P5.
So Josh Diggles moving up to P5. Lee Pratt in the Ferrari, he's in P3 at this moment in time. And again, hasn't done too bad. Let's have a quick review of where they started. Lee Pratt actually up 2, started in 5th, row 3. So he's done pretty well for himself there. I'm sure he's going to be happy with that. And then down in P4 we have JB Good in the Toro Rosso. The only Toro Rosso with us this evening, but again he's done well. He started P9 up 5 to P4, so I'm sure he's going to be happy with that. And then Josh Diggles, as you were saying, in that Mercedes, he's going to be very, very happy little buddy indeed, I think, Josh. Not Josh,
yeah,
sorry.
I think.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, already 13 places up, so yeah, he's doing a great job.
Josh.
Yeah, I think because he was starting at the back because he was running late.
Oh,
he just,
that's why he's jumped in a Mercedes. Okay, so Josh will be running with Williams. I couldn't understand what Josh will be running with Williams, but as he was running late and didn't get into qualifying session, joined the session late, he just jumped to the next available car, which was the Mercedes. Because obviously the Mercedes teammate of Calum wasn't racing. So that's where we are. That's why he's in that Mercedes. So Josh Diggles will be Williams, and he is in P5 racing with Mercedes at this moment in time. Then we have Sean Street in 6th, and Sean's had a really up and down race, hasn't he? You know, got himself right up into the top there, and then sort of at the instant came back down again. He's down 4. Was in P2 as was said, down 4 to 6. It was worse, but he's going to be looking to try and fight his way back undoubtedly. Jack Wilson in the remaining Renault, he's in P7. Cameron Widdowson in the Williams, he's in P8. Jake Sorrell in the Racing Point is P9, and Matt Goodyear in the Mercedes is in P10. Right, okay, so Phil Harris leading the way at this moment in time. Now the question is when is he going to have to stop? And I mean, basically, I think we can pretty much say that all strategies have gone completely out the window with the amount of safety cars and VSCs we've had.
Well, to be honest, I was just looking at the pit stops that everyone has made, and Lee Pratt is the only one who didn't have to stop just yet. Just running around pit entry. No, he's not coming in now. So, looking at his time compared to that of Phil Harris running on the same tires, only 15 laps older. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how long he can make this.
Well, Lee Pratt...
Lee Pratt just going off.
Oh, he's gone out. No? What's he done?
Oh, he's just spun off.
Right, yeah, I can see that. Oh, dear. Not great. But Lee Pratt, as I say, he's on the 25. He pitted early because he was involved in that incident in the first lap. So that's why he's gone onto the medium. So that was his strategy straight out the window to begin with. He started and went onto the medium. I think he started. What he started on actually? He started on the softs.
He started on these tires. He didn't have to stop just yet.
Did he start on these tyres? Yes, the stops. I thought he had.
Oh. Not from what I'm seeing, at least.
No, he hasn't. No, sorry, you're right. Yeah, sorry. I was looking at the tyres. I thought he'd done actually more laps than he had. 25 laps. He's on lap 26. Okay. So. Oh, of course, yeah, because he's done 25 laps, not done 26 yet.
Oh, just Diggles went out. Josh Diggles went out.
Yeah, Josh Diggles has gone out. That was at turn 12. So Josh Diggles has gone out at turn 12. That has claimed another victim. I think that's the third victim, or fourth victim this evening. So we are now down to a field of 9, very rapidly approaching the halfway mark as to our opening field of 17. And we are now, well, halfway through the race.
Yeah.
So halfway through the race, Jack Wilson in the Renault comes into the pits. 22 seconds was the gap to Jake Sorrell. It'll be interesting to see what that gap is when he comes out. Should give us an idea of the pit lane. Phil Harris leading the way, and I've got to say, Phil leading the way quite convincingly because he's 2.7 seconds ahead of Ross Milburn in second.
Yeah, it looks like he's just feeling very comfortable. Now he's driving back in front and having some good tires underneath his car.
Okay, so we've got 27 laps remaining. 26 laps Lee Pratt has done on those mediums. Phil Harris is on 11-lap-old mediums. He's going to have to pit again, definitely. Then we've got Ross Milburn. He's on 11-lap-old soft, so he is definitely going to have to pit. Probably within the next, 5 laps, as it's his second stint?
Yeah, I think 5 or I think a maximum of 5 laps will be in there.
Okay, so he's going to have to pit. Now, clearly, he's going to go on to, well, I say clearly, I was thinking mediums, but he could go on to a set of hards, but I suspect he's probably going to go on to a set of mediums.
Yeah, there's still the part of the rain that is playing. We don't know for sure that it is going to rain. It doesn't look like it now, but this can change very rapidly. So yeah, my choice would be to go onto the medium tire.
Okay, so very likely he's going to come and go to Jamie Good. He's currently in P3. He's on the hard compound tyre. He should see about another 20 laps on those, and that will bring him to 10 laps from the finish. So he's going, I suspect, for softs for the next one, and that's going to be interesting because he's 10 seconds behind Ross Milburn, so he's within that pit window. 3 seconds Ross Milburn, so he's still within the pit window to Phil Harris. So potentially, when Phil Harris comes in and Ross Milburn, Jamie Good could take that P1 position, but then he's going to have to pit and come in for a set of softs. So that's going to be very interesting because he's going to be coming in probably round about lap 48, 49. Then we've got Sean, 47 to 49. Sean Street, he's on 13-lap-old hard compound tyres. And he's got Cameron Widdowson hassling him majorly as he was coming out of 13, now into 14. So 13 laps, yeah, he's definitely got another 20 laps left in us.
A bit of a dive bomb.
Definitely a bit of a dive bomb there from Cameron Widdowson. I don't think there was any damage actually done to Sean Street's car. Can't quite see. Let's have a quick look here. Yeah, he has lost an end plate. He's lost the front right end plate. So that's the damage that he sustained. But I suppose it could be manageable, but it does make a difference on this track.
Oh, definitely. You will feel the difference when you're losing an end plate or a other bit of your wing. Just you need enough downforce here, especially when you get that long left-hander on track. So yeah, I think he will be coming in shortly.
I think that would probably be the best move that he would make. At least it gives him an opportunity rather than staying out there in an injured car. Lee Pratt is in P6. Still out there on those medium compound tyres. Now that's interesting, but we thought they'd gone off earlier when he lost traction, and lost his place, very lucky, and didn't wipe himself out. But the mediums are a bit like that. They seem to sort of drop, and then regain, and then the second drop is the one you've got to watch, isn't it, with those medium compound tyres?
It feels like it that way. It's especially very hard when you're driving yourself. When you feel the tires going off, you're very quick on reacting to get into the pits and get rid of them, because you're not trusting the car enough that the grip will come back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think he's going to be able to stay out too much longer on those. I mean, what is he going for? Is he trying to get into a safer territory for another set of mediums? Because I'm not too sure what he's trying to gain here at this moment in time.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that this is the bit where we're just in the unknown, because we don't know what the weather conditions is. It's sure like it doesn't get any. Well, it looks more cloudy now.
It's definitely getting cloudier.
I do think the guys driving, they know what kind of weather they are predicting. And we're just guessing.
It's definitely changed, and it's changed very rapidly indeed. We're on lap 30. Let's see what time. I suppose we could be seeing the start of the rain coming down, but. If it is, it's going to be happening pretty quickly, within probably the next 2 or 3 laps, which might explain why Lee Pratt has decided to stay out. I mean, if he can stay out for another 2-3 laps and it starts to rain, but then again, he's still going to be a bit early to go on to intermediates. He wants it to start raining round about now if he can.
Yeah, I think the only thing that Lee Pratt now is going. Yeah, what is good for Lee Pratt now is going into the pits, get on a set of soft tires, and just hope for the best, because he won't gaining any time on these set now.
Yeah, if he's waiting for that rain, I think you're right, Jonah. I think that would be the move to make. Come in, go onto a set of softs, bash out some really fast laps as fast as you can. If you're expecting the rain to come down before you're going to have to come in and potentially go on to intermediates. Or indeed wet. So that's sound advice, actually, I've got to say.
Yeah, to be honest, that would be the thing that I would what I would do.
But then again, you've got people like Jake Sorrell. He's gone out on a hard compound tyre, so he's looking to go to the end of this race on that hard compound tyre. So yeah, interesting. There's real mix here. Some people seem to be mixing it up. Jack Wilson, in the meantime, has gone onto a set of softs, so he's on 4-lap-old softs. So he's decided to go onto the softs and try and obviously bash out some laps. Jake Sorrell is his target, who's ahead of him. He's only 4 seconds down the road, and he's on a hard compound tyre, as I was just saying. So we could see Jack Wilson coming down on the racing point very, very soon indeed. Lee Pratt, as I say, he's obviously in P6. Sean Street is currently in 5. He's on that hard compound tyre. 16 laps. 60. Yeah, he's going to be coming in, as I said, around about lap 48. Cameron Widdowson, he's out in the Rocket Williams. He's certainly going for it at this moment in time. He's still on those soft compound tyres, 16 laps old, as is Ross Milburn. He's in P2. Jamie Good is on those hard compound tyres, and again, as we were saying earlier, we were discussing, very likely he's going to be coming in around about the same time as Ross Milburn and Phil Harris. In the meantime, Phil Harris, that gap is now up to 5 seconds, Jonah.
Yeah, you can see now the soft tire on Ross Milburn are starting to go off, and you can see that the medium runners will gain now advantage over those runners with the soft tire.
So now all to go for. We've got 26 laps remaining of this race. This is F1 Tonight UK, and this is season 2, race 1, the Australian Grand Prix here at Albert Park. Phil Harris leads the way, and lest we forget, Phil started in P16. He was already up to P2 after 13 laps. P3 after 13 laps. So what a fantastic race from Phil Harris. Ross Milburn, he's up there as well. He's done very well indeed. I think he qualified actually P3. So he's up 1-2 and looking strong there. Jamie Good, he's in P3. Cameron Wilson in the McLaren, in the Williams is 4. Sean Street in the McLaren is 5. Lee Pratt in the Ferrari is 6. Jake Sorrell in the Racing Point is 7. Jack Wilson in the Renault is 8. And Matt Goodyear in the Mercedes is 9. Out is Josh Diggles for Williams. Adrian Rich for Renault. Dylan Platt for Red Bull. Chris Knight for Alfa Romeo. Ryan Doran for Renault. Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo. Tony Foster for McLaren. Calum White for Red Bull. And Ryan Leah for Haas. Fastest lap now set by Phil Harris with a 1:25.4. He has got 24 laps remaining of this race. Clearly, he's going to have to come in and pit. We are predicting that he will be pitting, let me see, about another 12, 13 laps. So he's going to be pitting. Right, actually, can he go to the end of this race? I'm just thinking, because we've seen 29 laps out of that medium tyre. Sorry, 32 laps, Lee Pratt at this moment in time. I mean, that's his teammate. So there's every potential that Phil Harris could actually go to the end of this race potentially on these mediums.
Yeah, it's just the question, do you need it or do you want it? Or, is it necessary? I don't think it is. Just play on the safe side and just pit.
Going to see what happens. I mean, obviously the fuel load gets less as the car goes on, so the tyre goes lighter. That does mean you haven't got the same sort of pressures on the tyres, so generally you should get a longer run out of it. But you know, that's a big ask, isn't it? I think you'd have to go almost 40 laps.
To his advantage, there were a few safety cars which there won't be any load on the tyres.
And is that why we're seeing Lee Pratt on, 33 laps, do you think, potentially?
I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, that does make sense. So, I mean, it's a possibility there, but it's a big old question mark as to whether he can go to the end on those tyres. Clearly, Ross Milburn, who's in second place at this moment in time, he will definitely have to pit. But again, both soft compound tyres, he's already done 19 laps on them and on his 20th.
Yeah, but what you can see now is that lap by lap, Phil is just so much faster now. I'm thinking Ross is now losing around a second a lap compared to Phil. So yeah, there won't be any advantage left for Ross to stay on these tires.
Well, again, often I know commentating we make remarks on that, and then you speak to the drivers and they were like, no, they felt really good. So it is really the feel that you're getting from the car, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So Ross Milburn is in second at this moment in time. Jamie Good is in third in that Toro Rosso. Now, I mean, Jamie, obviously, he's on the hard compound tyre. We'd expect that, I would suspect, to go probably 40 laps. That's another 18 laps. So, with that in mind, he could very potentially go to the end of the race.
I think I've seen some raindrops.
Let's have a quick look.
When I go to the onboard camera.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there is rain.
Yeah, there's some drops coming down. Well spotted there, Jonah. There are definitely some drops coming down. So we're on lap 36. We are on board with Jamie Good. Cameron Widdowson, 5-second time penalty for speeding the pit lane. So he's already come in. A little bit early, got to say. What's he going to go on to, though? Is he going on to intermediates? Yes, he is. He's going on to intermediates. I've got to say, I think that might be a bit early to go on to those intermediates. Be interesting to see how he actually performs on those. I would have given it about another lap or two, but that rain is starting to come down. But I would have given it about another 1 or 2 laps before coming in, I think.
Yeah, the predictions were that it will be raining quite heavily, so it might come down real fast.
Okay, that's going to be interesting. Cameron Widdowson, we are on board with at this moment in time. We'll stay on board with him as the first man that's gone on to those intermediate tyres. We have just seen a few drops of rain. Let's have a look from his perspective, and definitely there is rain coming down, but it's not intermediate territory yet.
Yeah, you can see the dry runners are starting to have some trouble keeping the car on track.
Yeah, I mean they will be coming in, and look at this. So he's gone off there at turn 9, Cameron Widdowson. So he hasn't got any heat in those tyres at all, and he needs to get a nice straight. So 12 to 13 will help him out. And then the start-finish straight should certainly help him out. But look at this in the background there. You can really see the cars behind him closing down. And Jack Wilson is behind him, and Matt Goodyear as well. You can see Matt Goodyear right in behind him. Well, I can't quite figure out. Matt Goodyear is a lap behind. That's why I was just trying to figure out why he was behind, but he's a lap down.
Yeah, he's
coming into the pits. So he's coming into the pits now. So Matt Goodyear into the pits. Jack Wilson stays out. He's on the soft compound tyres. Let's watch him down into turn 1. And yeah, already a few coming out on the intermediates. Sean Street just come out on the intermediates. Lee Pratt on the intermediates. Matt Goodyear's on the intermediates, so everybody's now starting to come in and go on to those intermediate tyres. Now this is going to be interesting. We've got the leaders here, 20 seconds, Jamie, 21 seconds, Jamie to Ross Milburn. So they should be able to pit and get out, but they will not. I don't know if they'll be able to get Jamie. I think Phil Harris will get out ahead. Yeah, Phil Harris is already on the intermediates. He'll get out. I don't know if Ross Milburn will, though. And if Jamie Good doesn't take second place from him. Let's have a look. He's just coming round now. Ross Milburn just going into his pit box now. Jamie Good just coming round. Oh, and he's into the pits as well. Yeah, Ross Milburn out. Jake Sorrell is the only man out there at this moment in time. And Jack Wilson, he's still on these softs. So Jake Sorrell coming round now, the third and final sector, and he's taking it very gingerly indeed. Now this has really mixed it up now, hasn't it? But it hasn't taken anything away from Phil Harris or Ross Milburn or indeed Jamie Good. This has actually really helped him out, hasn't it? Yeah, Jake Sorrell into the pits. Jack Wilson off. He's going to definitely be coming into the pit. So Jack Wilson will be the last man coming in. Yellow flag in sector 3. That was Jack Wilson going off out of 13. So he's definitely going to come into the pits. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this definitely has helped Phil Harris, Ross Milburn and Jamie Good, hasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. They get rid of the tyres that were getting old. So now everyone on the same fresh set of tyres and the same type of tyres. So yeah, it will now be just, yeah, all the same.
Race to the end. But again, that all depends, because I mean, you know, if this rain's come down, it has come down quite heavily. There's every potential we could still see these guys come in again and have to go onto a set of wets.
Let's pray for it. I love me some rain.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, you do. So Phil Harris at this moment in time, he is in that P1 position. 12 seconds behind him is Ross Milburn in the Racing Points, and great race from Ross, certainly. Very good indeed. He's going to be very happy with that.
Now at Jack Wilson, he just went into the pits and get out of it, and still running on his soft tyre.
Okay, that's interesting. I think he must have intermediates. So why did they put a set of softs on him? Okay, that's a bit. To be honest, that's a bit odd there, to say the least. Jamie Good in the Toro Rosso. He's in that safe P3. He's 21 seconds, nearly 22 seconds behind Ross Milburn. Ross Milburn 13.5 seconds behind Phil Harris. So at this moment in time, these guys not looking pretty safe. We've only got 19 laps remaining of this race, and if the conditions stay like this, they should certainly be able to do the 20 laps, shouldn't they, on the intermediates?
Yeah, for sure.
So They're looking pretty safe at this moment in time. Cameron Widdowson in the Rocket Williams, he's in P4, 16 seconds down the road from Jamie Good. In P5 we have Lee Pratt, the second Ferrari there. Lee Pratt did a really long stint on the mediums, and he was definitely holding out for that rain, wasn't he?
It sure worked out for him well.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out too bad, that's for sure. He's up in P5 at this moment in time, so certainly respectable points. He's closing down actually on Cameron Widdowson, so that's interesting. Not very often you see action, let's say, unless they're a lot closer on the intermediates, but it looks to me like Lee Pratt is chasing down Cameron Widdowson at this moment in time.
Yeah, it sure looks like it.
So could we see him make the move? He is definitely taking the time out of him, so clearly feels far more comfortable on those intermediates. And that's the other thing as well, is setup, isn't it, Joda? Because you may be expecting a dry race all the way through, but if you're aware it's likely to rain, setup is very, very important. So downforce here is critical. You may be carrying a little bit more downforce in that Ferrari maybe than Cameron. You could see Cameron was pretty much launching that Williams, so he may have less downforce. What do you think?
Yeah, I do think there will be a slight difference there between the cars within the setup. Obviously, when you're starting the race in your qualifying, you have to get your car ready. Of course, with the Park from May rules, you can't change it after that. So when you know when it's starting to rain, the only thing you can change is within the pit stop. You can just adjust the front wing a little bit, give it a few clicks up or down, and that's the only thing you can do, and adjust your differential slightly a bit. So yeah, that's all they can do now, and yeah, that's what they have taken into account when starting in a qualifying, knowing what the weather predictions would be within the race.
And of course, in the real world, if you were driving Mercedes, you just tilt your steering wheel forward or backwards.
That's harsh. Yeah, obviously, yeah, knowing Mercedes, they would know something about that, yeah.
Oh dear, and it's not in the 2021 rules. There's a surprise. It's an interesting concept, though, I must say. I do like the concept.
Well, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of it. It feels not yeah, I don't know, to be honest. It looks weird. It's yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's ultimately how much force do you put on your steering wheel, and that's the thing, because you know, you could suddenly put a load of force down, but I'm sure there must be a catch button, so a release button for it.
Yeah, there has to be, and to be honest, I was looking at the footage of it, and then yeah, it's starting to feel more like
Lee Pratt.
You're playing.
Sorry, Lee Pratt looking to make the move on Cameron Widdowson into turn 3. Oh, they're side by side. Round 4, and he makes the move, makes it stick. Comes round 5. Yeah, and Lee Pratt gets ahead of Cameron Widdowson in the Williams. Nice move there from Lee. Puts him up into P4. Cameron Widdowson down into P5. Jake Sorrell 6, Sean Street 7, Matt Goodyear is 8, and Jack Wilson is 9, just coming out of the pits, and he's the first man to go onto the wets. And I was just thinking, as I was watching those two going round, this rain has got considerably wetter. I mean, this is really chucking it down.
Yeah, I was just looking to Jack Wilson when he came out of the pits. Quite surprisingly, going on to the full wets already. I don't think the track is wet enough. So yeah, I'm interested what his lap times will be.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He's showing good traction there at this moment in time. We'll stay with him just to see how he gets on. Obviously, those tyres won't be up to heat. They would have been heated up, but obviously coming out onto track, that would cool them down. So let's see what he can do. Obviously, full wets, still important tyre temperature, even though obviously they do have the tread on them. But he's looking pretty good. I don't know if he's any faster than he was on the intermediates, but I suspect the way he's going that he is.
I'm trying to look up his times now to see what the difference is. Oh, he didn't put on the intermediates. He just went.
He went from the softs straight onto the wets.
Immediately to the full wets. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because he was running on the softs. Because you remember, you said he came in, had a pit stop, and maybe he was looking to go onto the wets, decided against it, and last minute changed on to the softs, holding out for those wets. But he is the first man on them, and yeah. Let's see. He should be faster, certainly, than he was on the softs, that's for sure.
To be honest, the last lap of Matt Goodyear, he put in a 141.9. That's on the intermediate. And Jack Wilson, I don't have his time just yet, because he went out of the pits.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay,
yeah,
now,
just have to see when he finished this lap.
Just cut back to Phil Harris. We've got 15 laps remaining, and Phil is now 22 seconds, well, 21.2 seconds rather, ahead of Ross Milburn. He's really opened it up on these intermediates between him and Ross Milburn. Really opened it up.
Yeah, that gap opened up quite fast, yeah.
Yeah, really opened it up. Because there's no, the gap is about the same to Jamie Good, so no real difference in pace between Jamie Good and Ross Milburn, but Phil Harris definitely seems to have stepped up a gear.
Yeah, it sure looks like it, although it can be that he likes this kind of conditions on track, so yeah, he just feels quite comfortable, and Ross Milburn is having a little bit of more of problems with traction.
Yeah, could well be. And that's quite common, isn't it? You do get drivers that prefer the rain, and I think you're one of those drivers, aren't you, Jonah? You quite like the wet conditions.
Yeah, I definitely do, because it keeps you more focused in some kind of way. You need your full attention on keeping your car on track, and I just love that. It's just that a little bit harder considering racing on a dry track.
Yeah, that's very true. I've got to say, I'm not a lover of it, but then again, you have to have confidence in your car and in the setup, I think. My greatest fear, or my greatest problem is fear of not having grip, and because I fear not having grip, I take it too slow and when I should be going faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely one common problem with the drivers who are suffering that. Just knowing when you're going too slow because you're afraid of having no grip, yeah, you won't have any grip.
Yeah, exactly. It's a catch-22 situation. But yeah. Phil is really laying down some really good laps here. Full confidence in his setup and the grip he's getting from those intermediates. And I've got to say, Jack Wilson, he's not doing so great on those wets.
Looking at his lap times now. His last lap went in a 145.7.
Yeah.
Comparing to Matt Goodyear, who puts in 137.2.
Yeah. So
yeah, there's a 8 seconds difference.
Big gap there. Jack Wilson really struggling, coming out of 13, going on the rough stuff there. I guess, if you're sat at the back, you've got to make a call, but I don't think those wets are working out for him. He needs that rain to come down a lot harder if he's going to get anything out of these wets at all up until the end of this race. There are now 13 laps remaining. We are on lap 45 of 58. Jack Wilson in the Renault is currently in P9. Matt Goodyear is in P8. And, well, good old Matty in a Mercedes there. Not been the race he was looking for, but stays in there. At least he'll be picking up the points. So Matt Goodyear in the Mercedes, currently P8. In P7 is Sean Street in the McLaren. Again, not quite being the race he was looking for. He was doing so well in the early stages, or the earlier stages of this race, but hasn't worked out for him. And he's down in P7, but still going to be picking up valuable points. So not where he wanted to be, but at least points will be accrued. Then we have Jake Sorrell in P6. He's in the Racing Point, and again, you know, good race, solid race from Jake Sorrell. Let's have a quick look at where these guys were. So Jake Sorrell up 1 from 7. As I said, Sean Street not great. He's down 5 to 7 from 2. But Cameron Widdowson, well, what can we say? Cameron Widdowson in the Williams, he's been putting in a hard fight. He's really been quite aggressive. Oh, sorry, just seen the Racing Point end plate go flying off as they were coming round turn 10. I was with Cameron Widdowson there. I don't know if that was already on the track or whether it came off. But Cameron Widdowson, he's up 12.
Jake Sorrell's car.
Okay, with Jake Sorrell's car. Okay, so it did come off him. Cameron Widdowson, he's up 12 places to P5, so I'm sure he's going to be happy with that. Jake Sorrell is looking to try and close in, actually. Let's quickly go on to Jake Sorrell. He's looking to try and close in, isn't he, on Cameron Widdowson. But he has lost that end plate, and that's going to cost him.
No, he's not come in.
No,
Yeah, he's lost it on his front right wing.
Let's have a quick look. Yeah, he has. He's lost the end plate and the winglets off that. So, okay, clearly he thinks that he can stay out there. But again, you know, what's the point? He's trying to get the place from Cameron Widdowson, but he's going to have to pit, I would suspect anyway, because of the damage that he's got on his car. 12 laps remaining, unless he feels confident that he can manage it in this wet conditions. Interesting one.
Yeah, definitely, especially in these conditions, losing that bit of front wing, it's not something I would risk to keep it going on track.
And he's still pushing hard.
Ooh.
And again, he's got damage now on the left as well. I think he went into the barrier. He's got damage on the left wing as well now. Let's have a quick look. No, still got the end plate on there. Or has he just caused more damage? But he's definitely scraping those barriers. I just can't figure out why he's pushing so hard. Because even if he gets ahead of him, he's still going to have to pit unless he thinks he can stay out with that. He goes wide out of 12 as well. Look at that.
He has to come in now.
Yeah, I think that damage on that front right wing is definitely too much. He does need to come in. There's nothing to be gained. He's backed right off. Yeah, he has backed right off now, off Cameron Widdowson. So, as I was saying, Cameron Widdowson, he's in that 5th place. Lee Pratt in the Ferrari. He's up in P4. Valuable points for Ferrari at this moment in time for this Australian Grand Prix. That's really going to help them to launch their season 2, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. P1 and P4 together. Phil Harris already has set the fastest lap, so that will be 26 points together with the 12 points of number 4, 38 points for Ferrari. Yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah, I'd say that is. Yeah, definitely. So Lee Pratt looking to at least maintain that P4 place, if not better it, but it's a big ask. Jamie Good is 24 seconds down the road to him. It can happen, obviously, and with 10 laps remaining, anything can happen, normally does, but anyway, so that's where we are. Jamie Good at this moment in time, up 6 places, remember, started in P9. I think he's going to be happy with 3rd place this evening, isn't he?
Yeah, I think they all should be very happy with the place they will be in, especially Jamie Good, Ross Milburn, and of course Phil Harris. Gaining 6 places from his starting position, just
Definitely.
Amazing.
Ross Milburn, he's up 1, as I said. He started in that P3 row 2 anyway, but he's maintained that place, and I think he's the only driver, actually. He certainly is. Yeah, he is in the top 5. That's actually maintained a place, so he's done very well and bettered that from 3 to 2. So he's going to be, I'm sure, very, very proud of the result tonight. And again, good points for Racing Point, because Jake Sorrell is going to be finishing 7th as well. So valuable points again as a team for Racing Point for this Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah, exactly. Just as Ferrari, both drivers ending up in the points would be a great thing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's good for them. And then we have, well, the leg end, not quite a legend, but Phil Harris. What a race from Phil Harris. Started in P16. As I said, he was already up to P3 by the end of lap 13, or the middle of lap 13 actually. Very quickly assumed that P1 position once all the fuss was happening ahead of him. Obviously Dylan Platt going out, who was leading this race, unexpectedly out at turn 13. I'm sure Phil may have given a little bit of a smile at that one, but he's in that P1 position. He's the man with the points. As you say, he set the fastest lap. I don't think anyone's going to better it now under these conditions. And at the beginning of this race, I actually called it as an outsider. I wish I'd put money on it if I'd had odds on it. But yeah, that's great. So Phil Harris for the win. I've called that one. It looks like it will be. And also driver of the day, I think. I think we're pretty much agreed on that, aren't we, Jonah? As long as he finishes this race.
Yeah, as long as he, even when he not finishes the race, he could be up for nomination for that title. To be honest, because it's just amazing what he did this race. Considering we have only 9 laps left, leading this race now with a gap of 32 seconds when starting off the back. Yeah. There's nothing else we could say or tell about this guy. What he's doing here tonight is just remarkable. Yeah,
he really is. He's delivered amazing race this evening, and I think you can be very, very happy with that. But we have 8 laps remaining, and as I often say, and as often been proven, anything can still happen. So it's not set in stone yet.
It's raining a bit harder now.
It does seem as if the rain's been pretty much constant and chucking it down, but there's still a defined racing line though, so I can't see the guys going on to the wets.
There might not be, but yeah, I don't know. When you build, especially something is happening here.
Jake Sorrell
went off.
Yeah, he's gone off. Let's see where he is. Got a yellow flag in sector 1, so it's going to be just round this corner, I suspect. It says he's coming round turn 8. Is it into 9? Can't see him. Coming up round 10 now. We're on board with Matt Goodyear, trying to see who it was. I think we've already gone past it actually.
Yeah.
I think it was early on in sector 1. I think it may have been turned out at turn 2. So okay.
Yeah,
so
that's unfortunate.
yeah, it must have been out of turn 2, of course, because Matt Goodyear's a lap down. That's why. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Matt Goodyear is in fact a lap down at this moment in time. I couldn't quite figure out why we hadn't got past, but that's what it is. We'll soon see anyway. Stay on board with Matt Goodyear. I doubt we'll see any of the wreckage of Jake Sorrell's car, but it's a great shame because Jake was doing such a great race, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was definitely doing a very great race about that. I don't know where he started the race from. Is that something we can see back? No. Yeah, but nevertheless, although he did even make 5 pit stops, he was driving quite well in the points, so yeah. Unfortunate.
It wasn't turn 2. It may have been turn 3, turn 4. Oh, that could have been actually round 5. Still on board with that Goodyear. Yeah, it was out of 4 into 5 that he went off.
Ah.
So out of 4 into 5 is where Jake Sorrell went off. So great shame. I'm sure he's going to be pretty gutted with that actually, because there were some good points to be picked up there for the Racing Point guys. But still, Ross Melbourne is carrying the flag in that 2nd place. We've now got 7 laps remaining and 8 cars remaining. That's 10 DNFs. Wow, it's not quite a record. We have had more, but it's pretty close.
There was, I don't know which race it was. I believe
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan. It was. To be honest,
Season
we
one as well.
commentated that race too.
Yeah, season 1 that was.
There might be
Were you
curves on
commentating
this.
with me on that one? Because if you
Yeah.
were, you realise the drivers are now going to call you a jinx.
Oh damn.
So, yeah. That was Azerbaijan in season 1. That was a pretty amazing race. If you go on the YouTube, do try and see if you can catch that, because it's definitely worth it. And indeed, there were previous Azerbaijan races with F1 Tonight Netherlands as well. They proved to be quite interesting. One in particular, I think that was season 4?
Season
3.
4, indeed.
Yeah, season 4. Well, season 3 and
To be
season
honest,
4.
it's just a couple of tracks, and F1 Tonight won't just mix. I don't know what it is, but there are a couple of tracks that yeah, it doesn't suit us or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Yeah, it is great fun. Right, let's run through the runners and riders, especially when you're watching it, that's for sure. Let's go through the runners and riders in reverse order. So Jack Wilson in the Renault will be in P8, or is in P8 at this moment in time. Then we have Matt Goodyear in the Mercedes. He's in a P7. Sean Street in the McLaren is in P6, and he's closing down at this moment in time on Cameron Widdowson. And does he make the move?
Yeah,
yes, he does. Out of 1. So Sean Street has now moved up to P5. Cameron Widdowson is in P6 in that Rocket Williams. I don't think Cameron's... He's doing okay, but I don't think he's a lover of the rain.
Doesn't look like it now.
No, doesn't look like it. So he's in P6. As I say, Sean Street is in 5. Lee Pratt maintains that P4 position. Sean Street still 14 seconds off the back of him. Only, what, 5 laps remaining. 4.5 laps. So he should be pretty safe there. I don't think he's going to catch him. So I think that P4 position is pretty safe. Jack Wilson picking up the 3-second time penalty there. Jamie Good, as I said, obviously great race from Jamie in the Toro Rosso. He will be on the podium as long as he stays where he is, and the runners stay where they are, certainly. So he'll be picking up that P3 position. Ross Milburn in the Racing Point is going P2, so he'll be looking to pick up those valuable points, especially now. Unfortunately, his teammate went out. Great shame, it would have been good. But Ross Milburn, and I don't know, I'm looking at Ross actually, and are they a little bit twitchy on these intermediates? There's only 4 laps remaining as Phil Harris now starts his 54th lap. But are they starting to get too much water on this track? Let's go on board with Phil Harris. I mean, this is a risky one, isn't it? I mean, if you get to the point where you're slip sliding, do you come in and go onto a set of wets? I mean, you can't surely at this stage of the race.
To be on the safe side, if I were Phil and I would notice that there was too much water on track, yeah, I would come in, because you have enough time left behind you to make a safe stop. So yeah,
oh, of course, yeah, that's
just
true.
to
He's
be
got
safe.
36 seconds, isn't he? Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yeah, but yeah, absolutely, he's got a massive pit window there of 36 seconds. So yeah, in this instance, you're absolutely right. I mean, it certainly would be worthwhile.
Yeah, it's just to be safe, you know, because yeah, you're leading the race. You have that gap behind you. Yeah, why would you take the risk to try to just go on ahead and the risk of DNFing and not having anything at all?
No, absolutely. No, I totally agree with you on that one. So I mean, Phil Harris, as you quite rightly say, if he feels that he needs to, he can certainly come in go on to a set of wets. But I've got to say, watching him round that lap, it looks as if he's pretty much got it tied down. Can't see that happening. Ross Milburn, though, if he decided to do that, a little bit trickier for Ross, because only 20 seconds. Jamie Good is off the back of him, so with a pit stop and tyre change, that would be a lot closer. So that's a little bit more risky, isn't it, for Ross Milburn?
Yeah, for sure. That's the risk you need to consider. When he's coming in and he's getting out of the pits, he will be just ahead or just slightly behind Jamie Good. I don't know exactly, but yeah, it's just all about the feeling you have now in your car, and yeah.
3 laps. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. We've got a yellow flag. Who is that for?
I think that was someone letting someone past.
Yeah, I think it was actually. Yeah, that was sector 1. I think that may have been actually something that Ross Milburn passed. I think that was actually Mercedes at Goodyear. Thought we had another car going off there, but a quick look at the field showed that we didn't. So Ross Milburn is in that P2 position. Trying to see if we've got anyone close. Jack Wilson is dropped. He's in that P8. Matt Goodyear 7. Cameron Widdowson 6. But that's pretty even. Well, not even gaps, but pretty sort of decent margins between the drivers now with these 3 laps remaining, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. That's we're quite close to the end now, and all gaps are there, and yeah. I think that everyone is running safe and just making it till the end.
I think you could well be right there. And Jonah, this Thursday we have the opening race for F1 Tonight Netherlands, the F1 Tonight Premier League, the oldest league, and starting season 7.
Yeah, for sure. We're starting season 7 this Thursday. Also for the Dutch guys, all new teams, no new drivers. But all teams have been mixed up compared to season 6. So our reigning champion Nicky Visser has something to live up to. Together with his former teammate Boy Williamson, former constructor championships. Yeah, they have been split up, so new fights upcoming Thursday.
And who are you going to be racing for this season, Jonah?
I'm racing myself with Toro Rosso alongside Kevin van Delft. He will be my teammate. I for myself have now been hoping to fight at least half a season for the championship. Let's put it that way.
Well, every driver wants to be the champion. Let's you can be certain of that. But I mean, you're certainly a solid driver. Certainly got the experience under your feet. It's going to be interesting to see how you actually do in Toro Rosso, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I have been put in a couple of laps, and the car is starting to feel quite good now, and I'm really anxious to start.
Well, it should be a good one. So don't forget, this Thursday evening, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 European time, you will have the opening race for F1 Tonight Netherlands. Their season 7 opening race will be here in Australia, Albert Park. So don't miss it. And season 7 underway Thursday, season 2 for F1 Tonight UK underway now, and it's going to be an interesting end to this season, because obviously we run into the time effectively when the 2020 game will launch. So are we likely to see any races in this season under 2020 game, or are we going to leave that for season 8 and 3?
For now, we're going just as long as we can with this game, and when a new game comes out, we'll just continue our season within that game.
Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Now we are with Phil Harris, our race leader as he now starts his final lap of this race, and what a race it has been. Just to remind you all, if you weren't aware, if you have a look at that position change, yes, 15 places. Phil Harris started in P16, went up 15 places, 3 places. He was in P3 by the middle of lap 13. A little bit of fortune, Dylan Platt going out. Unfortunately, he DNF'd out of turn 13, out of turn 12. And yeah, he went off. Sorry, no, it was 13. No, it was 12.
13.
13, that was 13. He went off 13, so Phil Harris taking full advantage of that. Nothing to be taken away though from Phil. 41 seconds is the gap that he has to second place Ross Milburn. So phenomenal race from Phil. Absolutely amazing race. And we actually called it at the beginning of this race who was going to win. And I must admit, I did say Phil Harris. It was an outside chance. I'm very, very happy that he's achieved it. But we also said that if he managed to achieve it, he was going to pick up driver of the day. And I think we cannot, under any circumstances, take that away from him.
No, we just can't. This has written Phil Harris all over it.
And he's actually going to be crossing the line with his teammate Lee Pratt just ahead of him as both Ferraris crossed the line there. That was, you couldn't have timed that better. So fantastic
Amazing
result there. Phil Harris takes first place. His teammate Lee Pratt takes fourth place. Absolutely amazing race there from both the Ferrari drivers, but in particular Phil Harris. Ross Milburn coming round the third and final sector for his final lap. He's going to be very happy taking that P2 position. Great race for him. Started in P3 and well, I think he can be very happy with that. Ross Milburn taking that P2 position. And Jamie Good coming round the corner now and into turn 14, 15. And he's going to be pretty happy bunny as well, Jamie Good. Toro Rosso, he will pick up a P3 and third for this race. So another happy bunny there. And that's Jamie Good picking up third place there. Great race, I've got to say, and not necessarily run over time actually. Time-wise, it's pretty much as it would be.
Yeah, exactly. I think the safety car took a little bit of our time, but yeah.
So there we have it. Fantastic race from Phil Harris. Takes the win, takes the fastest lap, and yes, Phil, you've achieved it. Driver of the day. Second place goes to the Racing Point. And fantastic race there from Ross Milburn as well. Jamie Good for Toro Rosso takes third. Fourth, Lee Pratt for Ferrari. Fifth, Sean Street for McLaren. 6, Cameron Widdowson for Williams. 7, Matt Goodyear for Mercedes. 8, Jack Wilson for Renault. DNF'd for Jake Searle, Josh Diggles, Adrian Rich, Dylan Platt, Chris Knight, Ryan Doran, Thomas Cook, Tony Foster, Chris White, Ryan Leah. So just a few.
Just a few.
Just a few. Okay, well, that concludes our race for this evening. We will be looking to do driver interviews from next week on. Unfortunately, time constraints didn't allow us to do it for this evening. So next Tuesday, where are we going to be next Tuesday, Jonah?
China.
So Chinese Grand Prix next Tuesday. So don't forget to watch that, catch that with us.
Oh, Bahrain.
Sorry, Bahrain.
It's next train.
China. But I was about to say China's. I was thinking it was a bit quick. I thought they changed the calendar there. Yeah. So Bahrain next week. China will be for race 3. Bahrain next week is where we're going to be next Tuesday night, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 European time. This Thursday, don't forget to miss the start of Season 7 for F1 Tonight Netherlands. That's Thursday night, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Central European time. That just leaves me to say good night. We hope you've enjoyed the stream and enjoyed the race, and I will see you next week.
Have a good one.
Good night, everyone. Take care.